Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another NINJAGOcast. I am your Sensei Wolf.
I'm LJ.
I'm Meso.
I'm Sakota.
I'm Ulti.
And loud and proud, I want to hear it.
I'm AJ.
There we go!
Yay!
And this is NINJAGOcast. We are back. We're not going to be talking about new episodes because there are new episodes. We got more fun stuff to talk about. But first of all, we have a new voice. Well,
New.
not exactly a new voice, a new official voice.
The long journey has ended.
The long-awaited moment we've all been waiting for ever since she made that one tweet that caused us to have the greatest pain in watching Ninjago's history. Ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, let's have a warm welcome for AJ.
Hello.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't get a warm welcome when I came back to NINJAGOcast, so I'm not offering one.
Bruh.
Did you know that there's
Wow.
like 2 British people here now?
Yeah, I know. It upsets me.
The redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming.
I even
Hey,
got
I'm
a, I
not
even got a
asleep.
profile picture now.
Yeah.
AJ, tell everybody a little about yourself and ninjas that go.
Like, who's your favorite ninja?
Nia. Nia is my favorite.
Was.
Who's your favorite Lego female protector?
I wasn't gonna say it, but it'll TP too. So yeah, tell us a bit about how you got into Ninjago.
Okay.
Your story there, and yeah.
Okay. Well, I got into Ninjago around the same time that I got into Lego in general. I'd never heard of Ninjago until the movie came out, and yeah, I know. Because there were a couple months before it came out, I then found out about the TV show. So I binged all of it in a few days, loved it, and just kind of have stuck around. And
That's really funny that you got into the movie, though.
That's It's like getting into Bionicle through G2.
There are
Yeah.
people that did.
Yeah.
I know.
it's not good. I mean, like,
I mean, I'm glad you found the show though, because if you just watched the movie and that was it, you'd been like, "Wow,
yeah,
this
I
sucks."
was so confused because like I got into Ninjago and then I'd bring it up to people around me and they'd be like, they'd know what it is, and I'd just be like, I've never heard of it in my life, but apparently everyone else has. Just missed out,
Have you
apparently.
already seen the movie? What is this?
I mean, that's so funny, though. Like, at least the movie did its job.
Yeah.
In some way. Like,
Mhm.
I don't like hate the movie. I don't like the writing, but I love watching it just for the animation of it, and I like the designs and stuff. So, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
second question, what is your favorite season and why is it Hands of Time?
No.
Why?
Bro, I'm about to kick you off of this
Yeah.
podcast.
I'm trying to throw you under the bus early for an opinion you don't share. Shit.
What's your opinion on the Kaiju Protocol?
Bruh.
It sucks.
An episode, and
Yes.
it's got Pixel in it, and that's
True.
cool. And
That's cool.
yeah, it exists, and it exists, but I don't hate it.
Oh, ooh, and we're docking a point for that one.
Oh well.
Bruh.
Listen,
Point through these.
Kaiju Protocol is quite possibly the most filler,
The best.
the most filler, worthless
Yeah.
episode in the entire franchise, and that's counting
Currently.
every episode from Hands of Time.
Currently.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't believe you.
Yeah.
Listen, I need to go to war.
We wouldn't have the Chima Beaver without Kaiju Protocol.
Yeah, I know, that's a problem! That's a problem, Sakota! That's what I'm trying to get, okay? Everything is ruined by Chima. Every single gosh dang friggin' mother flippin' thing, alright? Chima is sin. Sin across the board, across the Lego board, and the Chima Beavers keep on perforating the nice, clean surface of Ninjago with their friggin' existence!
But the Chima Beaver was there for Nia's funeral when Cyrus Borg wasn't.
I'm physically
Dang.
repulsing at that.
That was funny.
Spectacular.
If I could
So,
Hulk
give
out,
us-
that would be what gets me to Hulk out.
Well, AJ, I'm glad you're finally here. The long journey of
Yay.
you getting here is been completed. You've basically already been like part of the reactions for ages.
Mhm.
It's like a full year.
It was a matter of time.
Just a
We're
matter.
glad Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's just the hands of time.
So, real quick.
LJ, give us the recap for this week. No,
First of all, Tommy and Jason in the chat, in the YouTube live chat, says, "All right, shut this down. You shut this down. Come over here and fight me. Fight me. Let's go. Mano a mano. We'll play some chess."
What?
LJ versus Tommy and Jason chess.
All right.
I mean,
Fight.
with the response to that, I think Tommy Andreessen's already inside your head.
I know. This is like Nauticon versus Zane.
I don't remember that. What are you?
Oh.
Multi-repressed.
You don't remember the greatest chess game ever played in Ninjago?
Yeah, he's.
Sure,
That's-
When Zane lost?
Zane versus
End of
the robot.
he chooses to forget.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Remember
every.
this.
He
He
removed it
chooses
from his mind.
forget that chess match like every chess match he plays against Sakota.
Yeah.
Sakota refuses to rematch me because he knows I'll steamroll him.
You never asked me.
Also,
My
never
goodness.
asked me, therefore.
Yeah, I'm happy with the outcome of the last one.
See, I do it.
Boy.
I feel like if Sakota ever had to face Zane in chess, like Sakota would just like lose, just for the sake of losing to Zane.
Sakota. Would you?
Dakota or Ulti?
I mean, I'd probably just drag it out until it's a tie.
Yeah, isn't that
You
like
just run
your
around the court.
usual strategy?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Quality
Well-
chess bands.
Well, so this podcast is going to be a lot about Nia, as it says in the title, because it's been a few weeks. I think it's sunk in with everybody. We kind of know what happened with her. Spoiler alert: she died. She's gone. So just go ahead and get that out there because we're going to be talking about that a lot. But so we're going to be talking about Nia in full from very first time we see her on screen to the very last currently. Before we get into that, as one last introductory question for AJ,
Yes.
Tell us why Nia is your favorite.
I see.
What?
Uh-huh.
I think it's I think it was from I know it said Seabound Skybound. I like to arc a lot. It's something that I guess I kind of understood, and so it just kind of made me latch onto her a bit, and then obviously she's just gone through some more stuff and gotten better, and just yeah.
The
Now she's
classic
gone.
statements of Nia is
Mhm.
a queen, ring true.
She
She's
is
a
though.
very well written character.
She's the best.
I mean, it's like I
She
can
is the
understand
best.
why she would gravitate. It's like
Mm.
breaking a lot of the tropes and cliches, and
Yeah.
like elevating above like other, quote unquote, the girl character.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
good.
And that is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yay.
We're going to go through step by step Nia and her journey from beginning to end. Just to kind of like analyze her as a character and to see like what went right for her when it looked like things were going wrong.
I'm sorry.
So,
What?
from the damsel in distress, written to be the motivation for another character into one of the greatest female characters of all time.
High praise.
So,
just
I-
just under Galley.
who?
Galley.
Oh, you're talking about Galley from G2. Yeah, she was pretty cool. She did some cool stuff.
She sold bad puns, apparently, according to some media.
She
Hey.
walked up to Liwa and said, "Hey,
Don't
what
do
are
it."
you doing?"
Allow
That's
me.
like all of G2 right there. Then Liwa like makes a bad remark and then they all die. The end.
I'm burning my coal
Is that
minifigures.
canon?
I'm setting them on fire right now.
They
Might
do
not
make
say-
they are good for burning because it's coal.
Don't say it.
Oh my god.
Don't say it.
Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, let's get back to Neo.
Trash compactor.
So I know Tyler has been meaning to like. do
I
the
said it on the
song
last
feel.
episode.
But you-
Been meaning to. What are you talking
The
about?
ninja.
I've literally said it in like the last 2 episodes. Yeah, my biggest thing is like, I mean, personally, I feel like I've already said my piece on Nia. But if you want me to like kind of open this can of worms, sure.
Yeah.
As you guys remember, I think she has the best character arc in the show. Read the only character arc in the show that hasn't had a massive reroute or been like dropped for multiple years or gone off the rails. Like a lot of ninja have, you know, growth. They've gone through some stuff. Usually it happens in a season. Maybe if we're lucky, it gets carried over into the next season and then it kind of resets. Cole was a good example of this. You know, he became a ghost. He had 1 season of being a ghost. Then he returned to being a human, and it was never addressed again in any way that reflected his character. His lava arms were addressed again. Him being a ghost, never again. Same with Kai. Kai has stuff happen to him, and then it kind of cycles out. You know, he really wanted to be the Green Ninja. Then he wanted to protect Lloyd, and then when Lloyd was taken over by Moro, he really wanted to save Lloyd because he felt like he failed him. And then after that, it kind of cycles out. The thing that's interesting about Nia is she's the only character, from what I've observed, beginning at one stage and then following through season by season in a way that does not reset her. And she's constantly either moving or constantly having to deal with things. The only other person that even comes close is Lloyd, and he does not do it well. He was rerouted quite heavily by the movie soft reboot. And his projected trajectory was kind of thrown off kilter. Still good, very different, and kind of came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
So what's special about Nia is, like you mentioned, she began... I mean, we can talk about her in season 1, you know, in the pilots.
Yeah,
She
we
was
can get.
this,
Well, let's get specific. Let's get specific with.
She was the plot
Nia.
device. She was.
Wow.
She was literally. She was the
plotted. She
thing
was the
to
damsel in
get
distress.
Kai to be motivated to be a hero. Her
Mm.
actual character was very sparing.
Galley was never
Yeah.
a plot device.
Oh my god.
Sorry, continue.
What on earth was that laugh?
I mean, that's really it.
What's the name of the dog from the funny racing thing?
What?
The one that has like the weird laugh. Anyway, that's what you sounded like.
Okay.
Carry on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you mentioned like before, like that was. I mean, that was really the only role she had upon inception. You know, like, but then over time that changed, and in season 1 she had the Samurai X plotline, which, full disclosure, it's a bit cliche. You know, the the girl secretly is the most capable out of anybody and can do everything better than the boys can, etc., etc. The implementation, not so much, because they had this cool thing. I forget how long it lasted. Maybe you do, where she was trying to protect her identity, and like her and Jay kept like that one episode where Jay had the snake tail after
It
he'd
was
been
2 episodes.
okay.
It's not very long, but
Still, it was a
not
cool
very
little
long.
interplay.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the gist of season 1.
Mm-hmm. In season 2, like she had, she became the damsel in distress again, but they gave her the moment where in like hand-to-hand combat she could easily handle all 4 of the ninja, because they weren't using their like elemental blades. What are those? But they weren't using their elemental blades because they didn't want to hurt her, but she was just whooping them
You mean when she got corrupted?
when she got corrupted. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Once again, the damsel in distress, but with a twist, which I think was kind of
Yeah.
cool to kind of show her capability.
Stone Army wasn't too great, but it also didn't just detract from her in any way because of that. Like you just said, so
Mhm.
I don't knock it for that. It might not have focused on her, but it didn't reset her either.
Yeah. So
Rebooted's the controversial one because
yeah.
the love
Once
triangle is
again.
not popular.
once again, not knowing what to do with her.
Yeah, I guess that did happen.
The only reason I don't condemn the love triangle. What am I saying? I do condemn it, but the only reason I don't say it like disproves my assertion is it did do the service of like breaking up her and Jay, or at least like
Yeah.
putting distance in between them, as clunky as it was. And it was very clunky and very bad and very horrible. It did serve a purpose.
Yeah. I enjoyed the start of it when like they were having their debates where she needed space, because it was that's probably the most in character for the entire love triangle that was necessary for Nia. She wanted space, she wanted boundaries. Now her, falling for Cole. What?
Yeah. The whole thing was an absolute mess.
Yeah.
Like there's no positive aspect, in my opinion, to that entire love triangle because of how it was handled. You have one character in an established relationship with another character, a machine that does not exist, which is the equivalent of a horoscope in a newspaper, told her, yeah, actually, you should go for this guy instead. And then she starts going, well, maybe I should go for that guy instead. And then she's like, no, I need space. But the reason for it is because she wants to see someone else because a machine told her to. That is a awful characterization. It's a terrible motivation. Nothing about that is natural. Nothing about it is, like, if they became better friends and Ania started kind of realizing, oh, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Maybe blue isn't my favorite color after all. Like, that's one thing. But the way it was handled was, it was very inauthentic.
Yeah, they had like a couple of moments where she goes, oh, maybe I like this about Cole, but like the machine starting and all this, it's totally weird.
Yeah, it was
But it was a high-tech machine
ham-fisted.
that knows personality.
ham-fisted. It was not good, not at all. So, and I feel like in a way it took away some of the autonomy of Nia's character in that instance, which sounds weird because in any other situation it would offer her more autonomy. But
Well,
it
I
did
think
not.
the biggest crime that it faced was that she never made a decision.
She made one. We
And that
never
the
saw it.
decision- No, the decision was made by the boys. Cole gave up on it.
We
Cole-
don't know which wire she cut.
Yeah, what's the wire?
Also,
Oh my gosh, the wire does not matter. She
also,
cut both of them. She
also,
probably cut both
Completely
of
forgot
them.
about that.
Cole was
The
never Cole was never in it to begin with. Can you tell
Yeah.
me one scene or one line where he's like, I actually kind of like Nia?
It never happened.
He never said it, but when he when
No.
he like gave the J blade to Jay. He was like, "She's yours." I should
Okay.
have bowed out a long time ago.
But he was never affirmatively contesting for Nia.
I mean,
Jay
he had
was.
like a bad breath contest with Jay, and
Yeah.
He was, but no. What he's saying is, he was fighting with Jay,
yeah,
but he was fighting with Jay. He
Yeah.
wasn't fighting for Nia. He didn't
Not
care, or at least we were never shown any scenes to show that he did care. He was competing with his friend who was being a
Mhm.
jerk to him, and he was being a
Yeah.
jerk back, and they were fighting. Like
didn't
in any of those seasons, it was scenes rather. In any of those scenes, it was very like Nia who, you know,
Yeah.
screw you,
Didn't-
Jay.
didn't
Makes
Tommy
you wonder
say?
who Cole was interested in all along.
Big thinky.
Didn't
Nia
Tommy
did say that they
on
should be
Twitter-
better off together.
Boy.
Yeah,
What did Tommy
I mean-
say on Twitter?
Didn't Tommy say on Twiter that like Cole was just confused by getting attention from Nia suddenly, and he was
Probably.
never really into her?
That would
yeah.
make sense.
I mean, that makes
Very-
plenty of sense, because, yeah, there was really, there's no good reason. There was no good reason for any of it. It was not well handled. It was not well orchestrated.
Well, it struck me because I agree. First of all, I hate it. In the context of this discussion, I think the reason is probably because they regretted putting Nia in a relationship. Like
So early
someone,
on, yeah.
Early
this
on,
is
probably,
purely
yeah.
conjecture. Someone was probably either like, we put her and Jay together too early. You know, we never assumed the show was going to continue. Now that we've been renewed, we need to hit the reset button.
We need to
Mhm.
reboot it.
Or we need to reboot it, haha. Or they were just like, she doesn't need to be in a relationship at all, and it like devalues, the girl character to be in one. Personally, I think it's more the former rather than the latter, but it's all conjecture. So they derived this horribly clunky, awful plot device to achieve a purpose. It's very much like, to use a random analogy, which some people will love and some people will groan at me bringing it up, very Star Wars The Last Jedi style of writing, where you want to do something, you can't figure out how to do something, so you say, screw the rules, we're just going to do the thing. It's not good, but it does inform, kind of the broader discussion about her. Whereas someone clearly felt like a mistake was made. And eventually they may have gone back to it, but under different terms, that were better for the story. I just wish the road to get there wasn't so, like, muddy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is what it is. Because there's no way, like, if you compare the two, Jay and Nia figuring out they want to be together in Skybound versus Jay and Nia figuring out they want to be together in whatever the heck the episode name was in Rise of the Snakes, way better storytelling.
Mhm.
Just surrounded by worse storytelling. AJ, what do
Well-
you think of the love triangle?
I, okay. I always forget it's even like a plot point. Like, I'm not huge on Rebooted anyway. Like, you and I have had discussions about Rebooted and how, like, every single time I'll like bring up all the reasons and then randomly just remember the love triangle like the very last second because it's just tried to
True.
get rid of it out of my mind because I hate it so much. Like,
You gotta fight
it
with
just-
Elge. Elge loves rebooted.
I know. I don't like it though.
Interesting. You know
I
what?
just really don't like Reboot.
AJ, you're not our first British member here, but you are the first member of NINJAGOcast to have a confirmed diagnosis of COVID, given that you clearly have no taste.
Oh my
LJ, you
god.
definitely seem like the kind of guy to like rebooted.
Wow!
Ulti, do you
Damn.
not like Rebooted? I mean, come on.
We had another one.
Zane.
Gosh
Yeah,
dang, that
yeah,
Delta variant's doing a number on you, British.
It has Zane It has Zane in it, and you know what happens to Zane in the last episode?
He's perfectly fine.
He gets rebuilt in titanium.
He has to face his fears.
He gets rebuilt in a titanium body. Awooga.
Awooga.
The only like good thing I have to say about Rebooted is the ending, and everything else I just
The only
I
good
hate,
thing
I
I
hate
have
that
to say is
love triangle so much.
the only good thing I have to say is Tech Woo, the best
No.
story plot ever.
Oh my
That's
god.
another thing I forget. That
I mean, alright. The 5-minute X1 Ninja Charger scene is like
Based.
music.
It's so
you know.
funny for Ninjago because usually the journey is better than the finale, and then there's Rebooted, where the finale is way better than the journey.
I don't know.
True.
Art of the Silent Fist is a really good episode.
Sensei
example.
Garmadon.
Sensei
Why not?
Garmadon was the best part of
I want him
Rebooted.
back.
What the fudge,
Me too.
Haley?
He definitely
agree.
was.
He was
definitely
great.
was.
She's
Right.
definitely right.
Sensei Garmadon was the best part of Rebooted up until, the finale with Zane doing his whole, I'm going to explode shtick.
I
But
agree.
Garmadon was so good.
Yeah, but he
I
has the
miss him so
line in that
much.
episode where he's like, "Does the diet pill actually work?"
That's so funny, though.
Yeah, no, that's
You'll understand. You'll understand when you're older.
that's hilarious. I just
Boy.
Diet pill, it actually worked.
I could go on. I could go on and on about how I really do like Rebooted. I think Rebooted did a lot of really good things.
Mhm.
Why am I hearing myself? Hi,
I
me.
heard about this thing called a stereo mix.
I think that's actually it too. So in any case, it's excellent. I like Rebooted a lot. I think that it is really good. I think
have
that
a
the end.
discussion about that one of these days.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ending I do genuinely think does a lot for it, but like it has good qualities regardless.
Mhm.
I'd
And-
On
love
the
to
topic
hear
of
one.
Nia, one thing that's always bugged me with Rebooted is that there's a big moment where she's up against
Reap the
holy my goodness, his
Cryptor
name
or-
Cryptor. I almost said like
Crypto.
something crypto, like the crypto whatever it is, like the money thing. I was like, that's his name is something like that. When she went up against Cryptor, and he was like patronizing her because she's a little girl and can't fight, and then she could not fight him. And there was no like satisfying end to it. Like she just literally just couldn't fight him, and she talked her way out of it.
Didn't she
Mhm.
outsmart him like with
I don't
Mindroid?
remember that.
Well, she like called. She started talking about how Mindroid, and he started patronizing Mindroid, and then
Yeah.
Mindroid went and beat him up. But Nia never was able to like prove that she could outfight him, even though she probably could. But it was
Yeah,
one of
I
those
don't know.
like,
I don't know, but I
wow.
think it was cool that she outsmarted him. Like, I mean, you can't fight yourself out of every situation, maybe.
Yeah,
True.
no,
Pretty good.
He
I-
did straight up like patronize her and call her like a little girl and stuff like that.
And
So
I mean,
it just felt,
compared
wasn't
to
satisfying.
him, all of the ninja were weak and like physically inferior.
Yeah, the
So-
Nindroids were pretty
Yeah,
strong.
they're pretty
I don't
strong.
know though. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna like because as we're discussing, stuff's being said. Let me just be clear on what my on the whole point of like my statement at the start. I'm not saying that Nia's never had a bad character
Oh yeah.
point
Yeah.
or that nothing bad ever happened with her. Far from it. I'm just saying eventually it all builds in a way to where you can chart the course over several seasons.
Yeah.
As evidenced by what we're talking about. They did
Rebooted was
skip a few seasons.
Yeah,
Stone
Rebooted
Army and
kind of
Rebooted
tough.
were very bad for her. And Tournament, which I should probably get to, also
Yeah.
wasn't too great, although she did have some starring roles.
She had a little bit less to do. She once again was not included as it goes, but then she went on and got herself included.
Yeah.
She had the cool rooftop chase fight with Klaus.
Mhm.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a really cool scene.
But honestly, like, what else did she do besides that?
She dressed up as a
Kabuki.
kabuki, which is kind of funny. and she dropped it like it was hot with the anchor with the bounty.
Oh yeah. Drop it like it's hot. Boy,
But other than that,
not a
she
lot.
made a really bad decision though. With that, she made an awful decision
What was it?
bringing Dareth along.
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey.
No, she did not. Dareth was instrumental to that effort.
Dareth
That's
basically killed her.
Think, if she didn't bring Dareth along, they would have never discovered her. They would have gone with the original plan to escape through the pipes when they're in the bottom thing, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yep.
they wouldn't have to go back to get him because he was left on the island at the very end of the episode, or the
But-
end,
but
end of
really-
the episode.
Think about the big picture. If Dareth wasn't there, the puffy pot stickers still wouldn't be on the menu.
Oh, dude,
Right.
Dakota, you the man!
You're right. I take it all back. The puffy pot stickers are back on the menu.
There we go.
Hey,
It's what I'm
Hey, Jay, I
talking
feel
about.
like- Hey Jay, I feel like I'm just putting you on the hot seat. What do you think of Dareth?
Dareth.
Yeah, no, hold
Why
on.
wouldn't
Choose
you
your next
like
words
that?
very carefully.
They like Dareth. It's okay.
I like Dareth.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Cringe.
What else do you want me to say? I like him. He's cool.
Okay.
He's
There
great.
you go.
All right.
Just say,
He's a character that exists.
Good.
he's a
Like
character.
Dareth. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Thumbs up. Can't
Okay.
see it, but
Okay.
thumbs up.
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. What was that? What was that?
Thumbs up.
Was it?
What was it?
That was
You
there.
You want me?
Huh?
You what, mate?
Hmm?
You starting on me?
Listen
You
now,
want-
I don't understand. I don't understand your newfangled, bizarre accent. Okay, I speak American.
No.
I don't understand T-tax.
I knew it. I knew it was from the southern US.
That's like, you coming in here, NINJAGOcast, you want to enact a new stamp act on gosh dang every Ninjago character. Well, ain't gonna happen. Not while I live and breathe bald eagles.
Wait, what? Did you say breathe ball eagle?
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah,
know what?
I wouldn't advise that.
Because my middle name is Danger. That's right, LJD Johnson. The D stands for danger.
Alright.
Anywho, moving on.
Possession reads like an apology.
Okay.
And that's
Yeah.
what I think the most funny thing is
Possession
about it.
Possession is like the big moment for her.
We're sorry, okay?
So let's. AJ, what are your thoughts on Possession?
I mean, I like Possession. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I have seen it like twice, and from what I remember of it, it's one of my favorites. Like, I just enjoy it, not just because of like Nia, but other things. But that was definitely like a great moment for her because she kind of became part of the team. She wasn't just like there. She was just
Mm-hmm.
Are
Are
She was
there any
doing more.
standout moments that you remember that are like, yes, this is why she's my favorite character?
I'm not sure if there was. I remember like I think it was when she was first hearing about, the- being the water ninja and we had her doing the bucket thing, and it was
Mhm.
I feel like I'm forgetting things. I'm gonna say
Forget
something that didn't
everything.
happen. I know I forget everything. That's why I'm like,
The bucket test.
when I swear there was like Wu explaining like a
Her weakness.
Nia, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
being like there of if she gets something wrong like immediately, then she gives
Yep.
up. But she
Her
needs to like
weakness is feeling weak, which I think was like her best weakness that they could have ever
Yeah.
come up
Cool.
with her.
Yeah, that scene
there's-
really defined her.
Mhm.
it just kind of was a great arc overall. It just
Mhm.
was a good way to get
Under
her into
different
the-
circumstances, I would have complaints about the bucket scene, but I feel like it worked narratively. My complaints in a different show would be like, oh, so they're literally gonna have a scene where Wu's like, "You're perfect. What is your failure?" And the failure is doesn't want to fail. Like
That's
some
like
some circles would say that's indicative of being a Mary Sue, and under normal circumstances, I would say probably right, but not with Nia. They handled it well with her because it's not a matter of she's this perfect person. It's like she puts up this like face of like needing to be the best at everything to
Yeah.
prove herself against the stigma associated with her and the lack of inclusion on the team.
And that also worked really well with the Ronin dynamic, where he pretty much teaches her not to care too much about these things, and only if
Yeah.
she
Mhm.
goes on things slower, they work out. And that was such a great dynamic.
The parallel was so good because he teaches her not to care as much as she teaches him to care some. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, Roman was a great character. Bring him back. Sorry.
Yeah, well, he would have gotten away.
to these days.
Ronan would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling ninja and your friends.
Don't talk to
Hey,
me. Old people.
He learned to care more, and he cared about money.
Now he has to care about the life sentence.
Bro.
Pain.
The one he
Wait,
would
does
have
he
gotten
not-
away with.
He doesn't have to worry about his curse anymore, though, right?
True.
Is he a free man?
Yeah, I mean the soul arc.
He just wants the money for the sake of having money.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, what a relatable character, right?
Well, like in
Would
way
you
of
rob an
artist,
indigenous village, Alti?
I wouldn't say that I
He
wouldn't.
listen.
a
He's
British person.
yeah. I was about to say.
Wow!
Dakota, you beat me to it. Dang it! It's in his blood. Hey, Alti, the British National Museum. Why is it that most of those monuments are British?
Next question.
Jeez.
Goodness gracious. Anyway, back to Ronan and Nia. Ronan and Nia had such a great dynamic that entire season. And the one scene that comes to mind that really sums it all up is when he escaped with the sword. And she was by the creek for some reason. I don't really care about the logistics of how it happened, but then when she reversed the flow of the creek and he started going back, and then she lost her concentration, and he was like, "I'm sorry," but he really meant it. He was really sorry that in this instance she didn't get what she wanted, because he kind of knew that was her biggest struggle. Because he knew that she could do it, but she just couldn't be that one situation for his sake. So
Does he kiss her in that?
He tried, and she saw it in the sword.
mhm.
And Ronin's 40 or something.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now stop to see what I'm talking about.
See, but wait, I thought he did that as a ploy to fool the sword,
He did.
to fool her.
Yeah. Well, the sword pretty much tells the next move of your opponent, so
But then he,
Exactly.
but then he
it's a bit
didn't.
weird.
But
Well,
then,
he didn't
Never
because
happened because Nia reacted.
yeah, and he was like, "You're gonna kiss me? That's gross." And he's like, "It's just
she
a plan, bro."
no, she stomped him in the foot. She stomped him in the foot, and he was like, "What was I gonna do to deserve that?" And she was like, "You know."
Yeah, I love that scene so much.
It's just a plan, bro.
Just a plan, bro.
Imagine if he had gone through with it and Jay opened the door. He probably would have destroyed the shack with a lightning bolt. With how angry he would have been.
I guess we know why Ronan's behind bars.
Oh my god.
Dang. That's why he's really at the funeral.
Ooh.
Okay. So anyway,
Yeah.
this session was great.
This is why Dareth is a much better character. He doesn't do anything
Oh
like
my
this.
goodness.
When I first saw the possession set images and they had Nia in a ninja suit, I was very much like, I don't know if I'll like this because I like the
Yeah.
samurai egg thing that she does her own thing.
That
But I
was a
think they
common.
handled it really well. So
I
when the
will be
season
honest, I
ended-
was very much in that camp. I was like, in your efforts to make her more part of the team, you take away her individuality and you homogenize her into a group. I liked the samurai because it was unique. But there was a point where I was kind of like, okay, so why do people in fiction have abilities? Just think about that from a consumer reason. It's because kids like cool stuff, elemental powers, cool play value, etc. From a more meta reason, it's so they have the agency to affect the world. Think about it. In Star Wars, why does a character have force powers? It's so if you have a character with force powers, you can write them to be able to affect their lives more. They have a greater degree of control. They're more relevant to their own situations. It's a more interesting story potential than giving them a blaster and having them shoot. And the Samurai X suit was the blaster in this analogy. Making her the water ninja tied her more to the mythos, and it also gave her the tools to affect the world in a big way. And they kept her samurai stuff. They still had her have vehicles, and they still went back to the cave, and they didn't get rid of that part of her character. So it worked.
And the greatest thing is that she knew it too. She was aware of what you were just saying, how does she want to be a part of the team, and is her uniqueness gone?
Yeah.
She was aware of it.
She pretty much went through the same notions I did.
which is they didn't have to do that, but they did, and it was so well written, and it was a very comfortable phase for her. Because I think even Skybound came out pretty soon after Possession. It was a pretty quick turnaround for those two. So it was the shock of oh my gosh, Nia is a ninja now, and then all of a sudden she's debating her role as a ninja in the next season, which was really a comfortable transition.
What can we talk about the other side of Possession, the controversial side, that being the fact that it's totally a Nia season but isn't? This will never not annoy me. I know it doesn't really matter. We can acknowledge she was the core of the season plot-wise. But pragmatically, Lloyd was in the intro and on the box. Lloyd, and the guy who barely is in the season. I would have even accepted it more if it was Morrow, which is what they're going for.
Yeah,
it's Lloyd
kind
with
of
the wisps.
Lloyd.
But it's not, it's Lloyd. It's Lloyd's hood on the freaking box. And I'm like, why, God? But that's what happens.
That is indeed what happens.
Sexism in marketing.
Yep, it begins.
Oh, you just reminded me, Meso. Thank you. That's something else we need to talk about. Marketing.
Yeah.
More.
That's
yeah.
the plan.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I remembered something specific. I'm sorry.
I know. That's the plan.
Okay.
Go back to our DM. That's the plan.
Listen, no one actually told me we were doing this today. I'm out of
Yep.
Okay, continue.
I just gotta go set up Possession.
You guys have a plan?
I have a plan. It's bionicle quote.
Skybound was weird.
Okay, Skybound is fantastic. It is single-handedly the best season in the entire franchise. Ulti, eat your heart out.
Right. First of all, you're wrong. Second of all, you're wrong. Third of all, you know.
You're wrong.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
So let's talk about.
My name's LJ. I think Skybound is the best season.
Hey everyone, I'm Ulti. I'm British, and the reason we don't have a T when I say British is because it's in the harbour.
Oh, who could have possibly guessed that I would have mentioned the tea in the harbour?
I don't actually know where Idaho is. Or I think it's somewhere in the south because all of America is southern.
As you can see, you've fallen right into my trap.
I love how in between seasons we have like our British Southern interlude.
Yeah, recurring theme.
We're just
Scrolls of the Forbidden TTV. You've got the British chapter and the Southern chapter.
finally, at least 2 Brits can have their teas back. They had to join this channel to get them.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the TTV.
The war is finally over.
We're just the V now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the V channel.
Yeah, we're V cool.
Yeah.
I'm hip.
Ah.
I'm
So
young.
here's the thing with Skybound. I love it, but
Wrong.
I do feel the delivery is a bit clunky.
Yeah.
Overall, the core of what they did is good, and the one lighthouse scene, where everything comes to light, is really good. The stuff surrounding it, not quite. I recently rewatched Skybound with Starbreaker and his girlfriend GL, and I don't know, it became clear to me how much better Ninjago's writing has gotten. And I don't even mean its plot, I mean its dialogue.
Yeah, I think like the early part is like very on the nose, where
It's
she's like
very
in the
on the
TV
nose.
interviews and I don't want to decide, and everyone asks her who she's into.
It's because I wasn't clear as an audience member where her and Jay stood, because they didn't really focus on it in Possession, but nor did they say that they weren't together explicitly. It could be reasonably inferred, but by the end of Tournament of Elements, they were back together, since Cole wasn't, a factor anymore.
I
Now,
think at that time
obviously,
she wasn't together with anyone, right?
you're correct. And now that we know that, that makes perfect sense. Without, this season, I wouldn't have necessarily put the pieces together in that same way. And it came off very much heavy-handed. The whole, I don't really need a relationship approach. And especially knowing where it ends up going.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it exactly. I think there probably could have been a more natural way to focus on her wanting to find her own individuality. And if she did inevitably want to be with Jay, but on her own terms, not because other people decided it for her, there probably could have been a better way to communicate that, rather than actively saying to him, there will never be any hope for us.
Yes. I think it's an excellent message to send, that you do not need to be in a relationship and it does not need to define you. That's an excellent message.
Well-
But
Well,
yes.
So
the one thing that I've always said with Skybound is what Jay did was wrong.
What did Jay do?
Wait, what specifically?
Jay, like, even though Nia, which I mean, very on the nose, you and I are going to be just friends, and that's all we're going to be. And yet he ignored that, and he kept pursuing her in different ways. So I can maybe wish it into happen, or maybe I can do this, maybe we can do that. When she was very up and clear.
And he reads the terrible advice of his dad.
It's terrible advice of his dad and whatnot. Now, of course, she eventually does, probably with his efforts to try to save her, and she finally, comes clear with her thoughts about the matter and whatnot. And Jay being like, "Well, what do you want?" And she's just like, "Well, I don't know." But it's a huge part of Skybound is that when a girl tells you no, she means no.
Except when she
Don't
doesn't.
pursue it.
It's like, don't get me wrong, you're completely right. But that's the kind of the weirdness of the morals, because
She ended up,
she didn't mean it. Or
And
like,
also,
she meant it in that moment.
Did she?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue what exactly she meant. It could read to me equally that she was, suppressing her own feelings to put on this image, for the world who
Yeah,
wanted her
maybe.
to. The fact that the world wanted her with a ninja made her be like, and internalize that and be like, no, I don't, even though I actually do.
Like,
That's just as valid as the other approach.
Yeah, but we just
it's
don't
like
know.
a
Yeah.
teenager though. Like, what
Yeah.
do you expect her to like do? Like, part of the when I was saying about I liked her in Skybound, it's because of things like that. Because when I was a teenager, I was doing the exact same thing. Like, people would tell me to do one thing, I'd be like, no, spite, I'm gonna hate it, and
True.
like you
Yeah.
just don't, especially in that sort of situation when you're trying to like figure yourself out and what you want. You don't want people telling you what to do. You need the time to figure it out, and you shouldn't like you know push someone in a specific like direct. It's just not right, you know.
It's a very good, very true, very applicable message that's completely ignored and devalued by the plot. That's kind of my weird point with it. Like, I love the story they tell, not quite so much how they get there. I would have maybe liked some more, less. See, it's weird because I was gonna say I would have liked more Nia focus and less J focus, but it's a J season, and without the introspection into his head, none of his decisions make sense. But without the introspection into her head, Jay's actions are wrong, and yet he's rewarded for them, and we're supposed to root for the ship, which I do. I like Jaya, but like in some ways, is it even rootable? But it is if you acknowledge that she does legitimately want to be with him and always did, and just suppresses it. But if she didn't want to be with him and only came around because of him saving her, then it's kind of weird and like.
There is a scene that goes along with that, which has always kind of bothered me, and it's the one where they're the basement of the lighthouse, and she's just like, "Oh, Jay, this is the reason." And he's like, "The reason for what?" And she's like, "The reason now you're the only one I've ever let into my heart." And I'm like, "Where is this coming from? You were just upstairs talking about how like, you want to have a voice for yourself and a voice for your future." Which I guess is, her like finally revealing the truth is that, she's always kind of loved him, which is what Tyler is saying.
Yeah.
But in like a really weird way.
Very odd.
It's very odd. It's very much like, the fantastical female where like it all comes true in the end. Like the words that Jay wanted to hear actually comes out of her, even though it doesn't make sense for it to.
It all also gets muddied a bit with the whole Delara and Nadakan thing, because he's basically pushing himself on her even more.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's a bit strange. Like, again, Skybound is good. The plot is good. The moral is good, and the direction the characters are left with is good. And I don't even think necessarily the story they told is. I mean, it is wrong for like real life applicability, but it's interesting in a fantastical way. Wish granting, the causes of your wishes going awry, etc. For me, it's literally just the dialogue. It's very hammy. Jay is very like hammy. Nia's eventual revelations don't exactly feel natural or earned. It just kind of blah. And it's funny, like it's good with context when you understand where she's coming from. Watching it without context, Nia just kind of looks like a jerk. Like I remember watching with Zach and GL. GL was like, "Why is Nia so unlikable right now?" And I had to explain, well, like, okay, so in the meta, she's like, wanting independence. That's where this is coming from. But it wasn't really set up before this. But then again, neither were the ninja being famous. That also kind of came out of nowhere. The public scrutiny would probably played into it a lot.
Thanks, Dareth.
Thanks, Dareth. Oh, we love Dareth.
Oh yeah. There's one other like kind of important detail that we can probably talk about near the end.
Go on.
The reflection. in the ice when Jay saw that him and her end up together.
Oh yeah.
Man, that basically that entire sequence,
Poorly.
aged like milk out in the sun.
I hope that, I guess the Hakemans probably were the ones that come up with it. When it comes to series, you don't stick something like that in your series because you never know what's going to happen in the future.
I feel like the reflection thing it's way more like symbolic than
Yeah,
those
it's
are
not
actually
literal.
their future versions, because like Cole's was gone. That doesn't mean he's just gone. It was a reference to like Day of the Departed.
He was gone
He
for
was
a time.
gone, but he's not gone at the same time the other people saw their reflection versions, and they all have the
Yeah.
old designs.
Here's
so
what we
I think it's
learned.
more like
Kai
symbolic
gets
thing.
old. Cole is gone at one point. Jay and Nia did end up together.
Yeah,
The circumstances behind the reflections and the specifics may not have held up, but the messages did.
yeah, and the eye patch is also like a Skybound reference. It doesn't like, but
It doesn't mean he's actually gonna have an eye patch when he's older.
Fair enough.
But I agree. You know,
It's an interesting dilemma.
when you do a visual thing like that, people are gonna take it literally.
yeah.
They're not gonna take it, metaphorically.
It's like, dang it, I have my future Nia minifigure, but this isn't future Nia.
Nope.
So it's one of those like, big moments. Of course, well, never mind. The Are we moving on to Hands of Time now? Are we good with
Good.
Skybound?
Skybound is what
Any last
Skybound
comments with Skybound?
is.
You're the first one I've ever let into my heart. The first time I saw you. Oh my god.
I mean,
Anyhow,
it's true. You may not like it, but that's the story they're telling.
I know. I was like, girl, you just turned into like a 12-year-old.
Jaya gonna Jaya.
I guess in a moment of panic, your true self shows. Anyhow, Hands of Time.
Blah.
It's like rebooted again.
Now consider this. Skip.
Nah.
We have to talk about it
Skip.
because it has
It's the only other season Nia's ever been on the friggin' box.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Skip.
Yeah, but
They have.
It's Hands of Time, AJ, but it's still canon.
If we talked
time.
about the love triangle, we'll talk about this dang season.
Skip.
Here's the thing about Hands of Time.
It
Very
exists.
succinctly. The stuff with their parents
Yeah.
is fine from a Nia perspective. Kai was the only one that held the idiot ball. Kai's the one who couldn't tell the symbol of his family home. Kai's the one who said, "Because our parents were evil, does that mean we're destined to be evil?" all the bad stuff. Like,
Oh, the idiot ball!
it's a phrase.
It is.
Look it up.
I need to make an idiot bowl now.
Like
That's
all the bad
hilarious.
stuff. Every bad thing about that plot element came from Kai. Nia was fine in it. She didn't really do much with it, but she also didn't do much that made me be like, this sucks. She was just kind of going through the motions, and she was shocked that their parents were alive, and she had cringy sibling banter with Kai. It's whatever. However, I can't say that Nia came away unscathed, because Hands of Time also has the worst Nia scene in the show, bar none. Worse than the love triangle, worse than anything. The Samurai X cave scene is the most cringy, poorly written, misplaced, not in keeping with characters at all. And to be fair, it's really on Pixel's end. Nia's fine in it. It's just the fact that she was there and that it's so tied to her character. I have to talk about it.
Like
You know.
she's justified for her emotions going
She
into
is.
that cave. She's
She
not
is.
justified walking out though.
No. You
Yeah.
know, oh, I have to have this secret identity. I had to steal your stuff to protect my loved ones from the villains that would come after them if they knew my identity. And she thinks it uses a voice changer, and Pixel talks like Garmadon. And she's like, her first thought is Garmadon was a force for good, not Garmadon's dead. Why are you screwing with me? She's like, no, Garmadon was a good guy. He's like, no, he's dead, you moron. I hate that scene.
Don't remember that.
I like it.
Asshole.
You liked it?
Pixel.
Yeah.
You didn't act anything like Pixel.
Yeah, but that's why it's cool, because you're like, oh, who's this Samurai X bloke? You don't know.
Everyone knew. Come on.
Well, you know.
Yeah, we all know.
Oh,
who-
Pixel is gone, but there's this new Samurai X.
I know.
It's
It's like, oh, there's this new Samurai X. Same
It was a
episode.
big mystery.
Pixel, where are you?
It's a big
Pixel,
mystery.
answer. Pixel, where are you? Pixel, answer. Who is the Samurai X? Well, I need Pixel's help.
Dude, that episode was weird.
Yeah, but like, do you remember the attack?
The attack. How can I forget the attack?
Who are you?
We can do a whole episode on it at the time.
We covered.
Shit.
The attack. The Vermilion Warriors on the rise. But anyway, Nia was
Hands of time.
Chronics, as in Crunks Chronics.
Hands of time. Look, Cyrus Borg's Borg watch, but no Cyrus Borg.
Whoever wrote the dialogue should be shot with a
I
Nerf
regret-
gun.
I
With a-
regret building a Borg pad with a temporal locator.
It's so funny, dude.
I like Cyrus Borg because his brain is like, I gotta build the shrinking pill. I gotta build the temporal locator.
I've got to build
Build the
a perfect match console.
Cyrus Borg is a man of coincidence.
I got not shocked at Nia's funeral.
Yeah.
You'll be in my place.
I need to build a hot lady assistant.
Yeah.
No comment.
No comment.
Now, guys, don't forget. Robots aren't people.
Right, okay. LJ, do you remember like half an hour ago when you said you were from the southern US?
I did not say I was from the southern U.S.,
And
but
now you want to talk about people not being people?
Be very careful what you say. Be very careful with your next words. Because, you may not be from the
Just
South.
think with that
I
accent.
am. While he may not be from the South, I am from the South. So please will words very carefully.
Racisto.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know you shot that one at me, but man, you missed by a country mile and hit Haley square in the face.
My country mile.
Anyway,
Me too, by the way. Me too, but I didn't get offended, Shades.
forget
Yeah,
your
bro, I
southern.
got a Colette.
Anyway, what I was saying was, robots don't actually have feelings. It's all just coding.
Coding like an
Like
Halo.
you're
Infinite.
bionicle.
Did you watch Prime Empire?
Unfortunately, I did.
Prime Empire is so weird. Like, anyway.
I guess Prime Empire did confirm that they do have emotions.
Yeah, they do.
I guess it was
Yeah.
confirmed and rebooted too.
Yeah,
But-
they confirmed that they have coding, which emulates emotions. Why?
So
Why?
anyway,
Why
every
would you
time I
fill
go-
that space with chewing? It's like,
Chewing.
hello everyone, and welcome to this podcast. Today we're gonna be taking the bones in our mouth and smashing them together to make some food paste. Okay, I hate it. Stop.
Better chewing than crumbling.
And in the end, Hands of Time was mostly inoffensive for Nia. It just, had
I
bad
liked how
stuff
it started.
surrounding her.
I liked how it started. They tried to emulate like the same lighthouse scene with her like packing up her Samurai X, stuff. And
Yeah.
Joe was like, "You gotta let it go." Like, and she's like, "But I built this myself. Like, I made this who I am. Like, this was who I built this for myself." And of course, it turned into like a kissing scene, which I thought was kind of funny at the moment. But then that was like the deepest it went, which was kind of sad. But it was a good moment for her. Yeah.
True. Can we talk about Nia's Day of the Departed arc?
There. Wait. Skip. No.
That one we should skip because it didn't happen.
She
Yeah.
liked-
Oh no, I forgot. There
Like
was
her-
that before Hands of Time. She was like, but no, actually no, I think that was still Kai. Okay, yeah, Nia did dodge that bullet. Kai was like, Nia, do you ever think we'll find our parents again? Or do you think we'll ever find out why our parents left us?
The Day of the Departed yet.
Kai is just like a beacon of bad dialogue.
I loved how like he asked that question, and then the next season when he found out, he like completely flipped his lid.
Yeah,
Like he was asking for it.
true.
He's got bad dialogue, but really good delivery, so it like balances out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos
yeah.
to Vincent Song for taking, bad dialogue and actually making it sound somewhat decent.
What a champ!
All right.
Meanwhile, Kirby was just like, "Oh, here's a badly written coal line. I'm gonna make it as sarcastic as I possibly can."
True.
What a champ!
Then we have Sons of Garmadon,
Oh,
which is odd.
we add a little bit of spice to Neo.
So, Nia didn't really do much this season, except have very well written and very well voice acted dialogue.
Yeah.
Possibly some of her best. Probably some of
Mhm.
like her best acting. There's a really good scene in Hunted, and then Seabound, obviously, but then like right under that, Sons of Garmadon. It's just good. Even like mundane things, like how she's dismissive of the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
girl.
it's just voiced well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's like a minor thing, it's not like a writing, but it helps a lot, especially when
Oh, yeah.
contrasted with Hands of Time. With the
Mhm.
immediate reaction from Zach and GL, my very small focus group recently was like, "Why is this so much better?" And I was like, "Well, the animation." They were like, "No, the dialogue. It sounds like I'm watching an actual show, not a cartoon."
Mm-hmm. The Hagemans are back, baby.
That was about it, though. That's all I gotta say. She didn't really do much.
Yeah, she's
Except,
not really like.
Use the rain.
Yeah, at this
Well-
point, she's just like a full-on member of the team
Yeah.
and works pretty well as that. But
Mhm.
I guess she has like
blends her
a
together more with the others a bit.
she has a pretty decent like role in Hunted because her whole
Yeah.
thing is like Lloyd, stop being useless, Lloyd.
Yeah. Hunted
No,
was good for her.
We need you.
The biggest crime of Hunted is that she did not become the leader. It should have been her.
Why?
Like, the moment
Yeah.
the moment that Lloyd said maybe you should lead the resistance, and she'd be like, "Well, maybe I should," and then she like takes it over, but is always kind of looking after Lloyd.
Are you being
Make calm and
serious or
shout.
like
Yeah.
musing?
I'm being serious.
But wasn't Lloyd's entire show long arc about?
Being this next sensei.
It was to find.
Alright.
It wasn't to find being a sensei. It was to find his voice and to give hope back to the people.
No, it was his series long arc was definitely about being the leader. His season long arc was about giving voice to the people, but a very good way to do that is by leading the people in a revolution. Like, it kind of had to be Lloyd for the
Yeah.
role to make sense.
So it's interesting you say that. Has Lloyd ever held the rank of master?
Technically, they call him Master in Sons of Garmadon. He doesn't act like one.
Well, to be fair, they do call him the Master of Power in
Well, they call everyone
Tournament
master.
of Elements
Master Cole, Master Kai.
because he
He's
is the
temporary
Master of
master in
Energy.
training and Hands
Yeah.
of Time.
No,
Oh
I
no,
could go on
they
about-
did call him master at the end of Hands of Time though.
Yeah.
They also, I don't actually think they call everyone Master in Sons of Garmadon.
they say like
I
master of
swear,
the element.
I don't think they do.
The others.
I swear, I heard someone call like Kai, like Master Kai or something like that. at one
Maybe
point.
like, what was his name? Hutchins?
Nelson.
Because Hutchins, that's like a butler thing to do.
That's
Yeah.
just
Master's like charge.
Butler.
Yeah.
Hutchins is not a
Harumi goes like
butler.
through the lineup and says like Cole, the
Yeah.
master of Earth
True.
and stuff.
Anyway,
she doesn't say
that's
Master.
the
And
element.
Lloyd, the master of energy.
Going off on the
We didn't
weeds.
say that.
I feel like
Go-
she did.
Going off on the weeds. It's just, I liked Nia's role, but I do feel she should have been expanded on. I wouldn't have expanded in the way of making her the leader. I would have expanded her in the role of being the one who's actively shown making all their gear. Maybe something better than a dopey looking truck.
Huh.
I'm just saying, that was kind of a waste
Uh-huh.
of her skill set.
Yeah. She did have an amazing fight against Ultraviolet, though.
When she
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah,
But she lost, and she dislocated her
dies
arm.
in that.
She dies.
She gets hit by a pole and dies.
It was
No, she has like.
it was
no, she
appalling
gets
to
hit.
watch.
Thanks, soldier.
No
car
crap.
falls on top. A car falls on her, and she dislocates her arm.
Oh right, it's Ultraviolet that gets hit by a pole and dies.
She didn't die, Ulti.
I
Not
wish
yet.
she did.
She's
Bro.
Ninjago's Harley Quinn. She
I
can't
really
die.
wish Ultraviolet had, like, the second that, like, the lamppost hit her, I just would have been, like, the GTA wasted thing.
Do you not like Ultraviolet?
Oh, well, it's funny you say that, Messa, because I really
Bro.
Alright. Fair enough.
Anyhow, let's move on to
March of the
March of the Oni, where she
Skip.
turns into a murderer.
don't. Oh, yeah, she does.
And skip.
She did
What?
a thing in March of the Oni.
She has a character thing in that.
That's pretty much in there.
Kira, before I even say my piece, AJ, Nia, and the Oni trilogy as a whole, were you satisfied? What do you think? Do you think it was
Whole
good?
trilogy.
Trilogy. Because it's totally a well-done, cohesive trilogy.
Makes sense.
Like, I liked her in Sons of Garmadon and Hunted, like, because especially in Hunted when it was just her and Lloyd, I liked that dynamic. I think that's kind of like, because often I know in the community people see it as like, oh, Kai and Lloyd are like brothers, and then why can't the same be said about Nia and Lloyd and that kind of thing having like a sibling sort of thing? But that's just me. But like, I liked her in 8 and 9, but then no, what was it? March the Oni.
She had stuff. She killed Cole. We thought she did.
Okay, cool.
She had a great
Can
scene
I-
afterwards.
Can
where
I
Kai-
Yeah.
throw it in the
Yeah,
bin now?
And then it immediately turns into a Kai scene.
Well,
March
yeah,
of
she
the
was
Oni is
passing
really
it to him.
odd. March of the Oni is weird because it has really good moments
Yeah.
and an absolutely god-awful whole. It's very much like the parts are not greater than the sum kind of scenario.
It's just
Like that scene of her being like grief-stricken because she just murdered Cole. Really good. Whether it turned into a Kai scene or not, it was a good sibling scene, and it was a good scene of her. Again, more good acting, more good like dialogue writing. It was good, and everything surrounding it wasn't.
Oh yeah, wasn't she like also proposed to?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I guess that was a thing that happened.
That's more of a Jay thing
Completely forgot about that.
because she was.
Forgot about the
Wait,
yin
really?
yang.
No, I
mean,
did as
let's-
well.
AJ, if you're gonna be on this podcast, rewatch
Tyler,
Ninjago.
You
AJ,
know
AJ.
that I
It was
don't.
only like 2 years ago.
That is a long
A
time.
decade ago.
It was a decade.
like
Yeah, we had a
we need
whole.
to-
I don't know,
We
like
need to get
soft
TLDR
reboot
back
since
up and
then.
going. We need to brush the cobwebs off of TLDR, but make them now instead of like episode TLDRs, season long TLDRs. Because
it's been a long time since I've rewatched Ninjago. I've rewatched up until Hands of Time and then I stopped because I needed a break.
Very
And then a bunch of
understandable.
seasons came out.
now, did you get to Hands of Time and take a break, or did you get to Hands of Time and you're like,
I'm out.
do I?
No, I think it was I got Hands of Time and then I was like, yeah, I need to stop a little bit. And then me being me just never got back to it because I got distracted by other things.
Fair enough. Hands of Time is not exactly the greatest season to be on when you start back up to
No.
rewatch Ninjago.
It is not.
You'll get there.
Eventually.
It's like a band-aid. You just gotta rip it off.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, so she got proposed to by Jay. Really cute proposal. She responds in a very cute way, and we're like, yay, they're official.
Wahoo!
Whatever yin yang means.
Yeah, it
Don't
didn't really change a
Think
lot.
too hard about it.
It's a wedding allegory. There's no
Yeah.
way it isn't.
I know it's really weird when I'm like talking to people who aren't Ninjago fans, like my parents or my friends who aren't Lego people, and I have to explain like, oh yeah, Nia is like Jay's
Fiance.
Yeah.
is it fiance? Is that like because
yang.
Yang is it like girlfriend with
say they are
benefits
betrothed,
or
right?
Girlfriend
excuse
with
me?
benefits.
No, Haley, no. It's a
Why,
fiance. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Girlfriend plus.
No.
It's a
Okay.
party.
why
No.
haven't they had a wedding?
Why would they?
I don't know. Ask
Maybe
the
they
writers.
don't have the time right now.
They were too busy, like, saving the
saving
world
it.
all the time.
Like, okay, here's,
Bruh, they
here's
had
the thing.
6 months after that to do nothing.
Most
But
people.
like, okay, if we assume there is a ceremony involved, because there may very well could be, and it might not be what a an earthly wedding typically looks like.
Oh,
Just
it probably
like we don't have yin and yang. Maybe they have something unique in their culture, a celebration, whatever.
Mhm.
Why would we need to see that on screen? Or a better question, why would the writers want to show that on screen?
For the fans. I don't know. But so that means that they're married.
No.
In
Right.
the
And what-
closest thing that we can relate to, yes.
In Master of the Mountain, didn't you say they are betrothed?
No.
Yes.
Or if
Yes.
you
Yeah.
did,
Or Mortessa said it, right? Or
Yeah.
So 100%. Yes.
They're married. Okay.
So
So I can call them husband and wife.
Well, betrothed isn't like married. It's like we're
betrothed
gonna
isn't
get
married.
married.
it's like engaged, right?
Yeah. It's like fiance.
which is exactly
They're not married yet.
what I was saying.
Which means it could still happen.
he gets a little like piece and he brings it to the ocean.
you may now kiss the bride, drinks water.
he just like throws the wedding ring into the ocean.
That would be a really sad scene though. Like he's just by the ocean, he just chucks it out there while crying. Anywho, that's fun.
You need help.
crying. I just miss her, and he was so happy.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad she's dead. We love steaks.
Anyway.
We love steaks, especially when they're well done in a story
Ew,
context, but also in a real
ew.
life context.
Oh my gosh. Messa,
I don't
no,
know,
you're
in real life context.
You're disgusting.
Oh,
Ugh.
okay.
Well
Anyhow.
done steak.
What season comes after? Oh.
Fire
Secret
on
of
ice.
In Spinjitzu.
Can't wait to talk about Nia's arc in the ice chapter.
Oh, no.
I remember that one has a really good resolution.
There isn't really a lot in the fire chapter anyway, right?
Literally,
AJ, how about Nia controlling ice? You were very pleased with that. Weren't you? AJ. Nia controlling ice.
Yeah.
Isn't that pleasant?
Yeah. I was honestly really excited for that arc. And then the ending happened.
Remember the discussion we had? Like, what was it?
Ending happened.
Didn't Tommy go like,
There was
It was something like they had time for, oh, they wanted to do something else, but then
they ran out of time, or like there wasn't enough time in the runtime?
yeah,
Mhm.
and then that was
It's
like,
bogus.
and I just sat there and I was like, no.
So you other stuff.
I was so mad when we first heard that. It was just like,
It just doesn't jive. Like from a production standpoint, I can understand.
Yeah.
Yes, but considering I can conceptualize an alternative way that fight could have happened, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I'd be less mad about it if it wasn't for the fact that I felt like Kai throughout that he had so many opportunities where his arc could have like concluded, and they just kept it going, and then it led into Nia's, and I was just like, then what was the point of Nia having her like, you know, if
Well,
you
it
wanted to
makes
focus
sense.
on, oh, I mean, like it makes sense, but like
for her to like feel because her weakness is feeling weak, and then
Yeah.
she comes to a realm where she can't even use her powers. So
Yeah.
so it makes sense that she would try to overcome that.
yeah,
And then with your point saying how Kai got involved with that
yeah,
in a sense. So
and
It's just weird. I think it would have been fine if they had made her do something substantive. Like, I don't mind
Yeah.
that Kai's arc continued. I mind that she didn't do anything. Like, either the ice should have been used to freeze the wings and ground the dragon. I would say, personally, shatter the wings. But if you don't want to do that in a Lego show, just
Well,
freeze the wings.
That was what they had planned. They
Yeah.
they planned it that she would just like control the wings and like rip them off, which was a
Rip them
Yeah.
off.
Cool.
If that's too violent, freeze them and ground the dragon so then Kai could incinerate it. Make it less of a, oh no, Nia failed, and more of a team attack.
yeah,
Or
Mhm.
trap Boreal in icicles and like knock it out, and then Boreal wakes up and it's thrashing around trying to get out, spewing ice everywhere. And that's
Yeah.
when Kai like lights it on fire. Instead of just, oh, I did the thing. Oh no, it's fine. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
that's just it. It just feels like it kind of went nowhere. Like
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
cool, but it didn't go anywhere. And I just, if you want to focus on Kai, then fine. But like, focus on Kai, then don't give Nia an entire season and then just kind of go,
Yeah.
it's fine. We'll just throw it
Yeah.
out there.
They had to
We
give
don't
her
know
a
how to
victory.
conclude this.
Yeah. They had to give her a victory
Yeah.
for accomplishing what seemed to be the impossible. Instead, it was just like Sorla's face in ice, and then she just made him shake.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Like, she could have been the master of Earth and done that. So,
It's kind of disappointing.
but it did, expand on, it like everything beyond that was pretty good. Her overcoming what, is the impossible. So, like, she's controlling practically another element, even though it's still kind of hers to command. But she worked really hard and she got there.
Sure. Yeah.
It showed her determination and her efforts. She listened to Sorla, and Sorla gave some amazing advice to her, advice that could be used in Seabound. Things that she was saying that was kind of effective. But
You're not wrong.
so it's a big moment for Nia. She was kind of like teaching hers in a way that Mashru never did. So she learned a lot about herself and what she could do.
And then it wasn't utilized.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
utilized.
I get exactly what you mean, and I like the concept of it. I just, again, it's
Mhm.
very it's very Skybound-esque, except way worse. It's like, I love what they did. I love the spirit of what they tried to do, not so much how they executed it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
All right. Before we move to Prime Empire, we just got a super chat from Magic Ninja. Hello, welcome, Magic. She says, "Hello. I just got myself to get on after a rough day, and I am glad I did because I almost missed this. What has happened?"
Thank you for joining us. We're talking about Nia and
Mhm.
her progression. And just throughout the show, we're on Prime Empire.
Since she's kind of completed her arc on the series as we know so far, so we're just kind of like going through it all and talking about it.
Why? Not enough runtime for Nia's arc. Put the Kaiju Protocol in the season. Refuses to elaborate further. Leaves. The Giga Chat.
Oh my goodness. I mean, again, this is when I love my sign up that says give Ninjago 22-minute run times.
Oh my god.
You know, my annual, bi-weekly, whatever. Because I say this quite often. Give Ninjago back 22 minutes. We would have gotten that entire episode and more for
True.
stuff for an entire 22-minute finale for that. Would have been amazing.
You're right.
We might have even got a finale, or a final moment where Zane is pondering what he just did back in Ninjago.
Yeah, that would have been nice,
Mm-hmm. So instead of 11 minutes of the entire fight and stuff.
I cried.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Akita's tiny knife was too important. It's okay.
that was a really good scene though. I wanted her to stab him though.
It was a scene.
But it's Zane.
I just think it's so funny that Akita thought she could do anything. A tiny knife will save the day. Tiny knife.
Does Zane
I mean,
know
if she
that Nia can control ice? Does he know that?
Zane.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if we had scenes where the ninja talked to each other about stuff that happened in the ice chapter, we could have.
I'm only presuming because then if he did know, surely he'd be like, well, done.
Yeah.
What the do now? 'Cause you're out here taking my job.
Well, Zane could then, theoretically control water, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Zane's the new master of water, makes you think, doesn't it?
Both,
Maybe Zane will have a bigger role in the next season.
Yeah, that's
When I
wishful
wanna,
thinking.
They better not
Maybe
dare.
next season, Zane will show off more of his chest.
Oh my god.
Wow.
If Zane learns to control water, that'll be the most mean thing they could do for Nia.
I'm gonna be honest. If that happens, I will laugh until I cry.
My god.
That happens, I will clap at my screen for 22 minutes.
Alright, let's talk about Prime Empire.
Oh,
Not much of note. It's
Anyway, skip.
but without,
2.0 without the heartfelt
without the
moment.
perspective and the heartfelt moments. But
She
you
died,
did have
though.
a dancing moment.
Yeah, they did some.
She said Cyclone
Oh,
Go
the
that one
dancing thing's
episode.
cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she did. She absorbed Jay's personality and
Mhm.
danced.
Taekwondo.
I'm just
It
saying.
was
guys.
they had really cute moments,
Yeah.
and then she died.
Yes.
Yeah.
That did happen.
That's just the theme. They had cute moments, and then she died.
You're not
Um,
wrong.
They did
Trying.
this, and then she died.
Yep. That's just Nia's whole thing.
Yep.
She gets married and then she died. She died. They had cute moments, and then she died.
She wasn't married.
Jay almost dies, and then she died.
They were
No.
engaged.
No, I'm talking about Nauticon.
Nia has
Oh.
died 3 times.
She has died 3 times.
Yeah.
She died a lot.
And you think that she's gonna stay dead this time?
Better. She better.
she's
or
not-
someone
she's
else
not-
is gonna die, and they're gonna live on
she's not-
planet Earth.
Technically dead.
Yeah, she's not
She's-
dead.
Just the ocean.
We'll get there when we get there.
Nia be like, I see.
Later.
Oh, that was a pun.
I don't like you encroaching on my territory here. Okay? This is makes me feel uncomfortable, okay? Puns are kind of my thing. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. Stop with the chewing! Stop it!
Those awkward silences with chewing.
Stop! No chewing.
What season comes after? Oh, yeah.
Master of the
The island.
Mountain.
Skip.
Dakota?
Sorry, here, let me what do you
You gonna
kids
disrespect my boy like that?
what do you kids say nowadays? Oh yeah. Beast?
It's-
No, we gotta,
Dang.
Dakota, we gotta sit down. What do you
Dakota
mean? The island?
Beast?
I kind of forgot about Master.
Kind of what?
I mean, I did too, from a Neo perspective.
My son.
Kind of what? She became a queen.
But listen, if you were a real Nia stan, she was already a queen.
oh my god.
LJ said the thing.
Yeah.
He said the thing.
Yeah.
LJ say yes, queen.
No, don't tell me what to say.
LJ, you've already lowered yourself to saying based and swag tonight. I think yes,
Don't worry,
queen
but it
is
was
the
Yeah.
least
was-
offensive you could say.
it was mocking. It's okay. I can get away with it.
Oh, it was
Aye, aye, aye.
mocking. Well, speaking of mocks, bro, how about you get out of here and judge the Haga contest?
Oh my god.
Well, Ulti, that sounds like an interesting time. Except for the fact that we don't judge the contests, you ding dong.
Listen, bro. I
Yes,
don't know.
I'm listening.
Make a good joke about the polls.
I'm not involved, bro.
Yeah, I
Not
know.
involved.
It's evident.
So Master of the Mountain?
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Got any more of that like stuff you can chew real quick?
Stop! Stop! No! Oh my gosh.
Master of the Mountain was fine.
She's like in that
Well,
season.
no, I loved Master of the Mountain for Nia.
Mm.
Like it was a great season for her.
Go on.
I think I've said this. She got a whole episode.
I'm very happy.
You
with it.
did?
Yeah, and the whole. Well, I mean, she got a couple of episodes that kind of focused on one big episode for her and her kind of like because she walked in with Jay and Lloyd, and the Queen automatically thought that she was nothing to the two guys, which was really weird. But anywho, it happened, and then she wanted to stand up for herself, of course, and she wanted to protect Jay because Jay's like, Jay. And over dinner, when Mertessa was like, we're going to fight for Jay's hand, and she said, no, no, I'm not going to fight you for him. And then when she challenged her kind of for her own honor, that's when she accepted the fight, which is like the perfect interpretation of Nia's character. She will not fight for other people. When it comes down to like her own honor, and when she starts calling her weak and hiding behind other people, then she'll stand up and fight for herself.
I like to imagine a scenario where like Jay or Kai or anyone's like been taken captive and they're gonna die, and Neil's like, I'm not gonna fight for you. I don't care about you. That's basically what you just said. But I know, like in certain contexts, it's
Yeah,
just
it's very
it's for their
heroic
life,
quality.
if it's for
very
their
heroic.
life,
I'm not gonna fight
for
for
their
you.
life, she will. But, like, this is like for something that she already like had. I'm already married to him. I'm not gonna fight like to kind of like protect that because there's no reason to. But then when it was for her own honor, and she's like, oh, yeah.
I'm glad that you have such a good view of that episode, because here's all I remember. Nia had an anticlimactic fight where she got bodied only to land a one-punch victory. That's what I remember from the episode.
Yeah,
Her-
but to be
her
fair,
power.
The scene where she lands that one punch victory is cool.
And see, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, that was a great scene. It needed to be one hit. I've been saying this since the episode came out. And for some reason, people disagree with me, and I can't understand why. Because you need to show Nia is an unequivocal master of her prowess. You need to show her combat prowess. What better way than to absolutely decimate someone who is only using brute force?
Yeah, but like I don't know,
But
getting
roll
bodied for
over
like 2
or-
minutes didn't
Yeah.
exactly sell me that she
Meso-
was competent. Like what you described could be like, oh, Nia just got a lucky shot.
But it
Amber,
wasn't
she
a
was
lucky
waiting
shot.
for
You,
infinity.
I mean, like,
It's like if I beat you, which I have many times in Halo 1v1s, and the score is like 20-0, and then you get like 1 kill, but you get a really good kill, man. You're like a master of your craft. You know, you get a cool energy sword kill, and you're like, whoosh, I'm not gonna walk away from that and be like, you're a pro.
okay,
you know what I
sure,
mean?
sure, but this
In
is
this
a
analogy, that kill is like worth 20 kills.
True.
see the thing here is like that's a neat hypothetical, but that's not what happened. What happened was Nia actually defeated the what was it, Monk Queen?
Protest.
Monk's
Tessa.
Queen, or Tessa.
Tessa.
Her like skillfully, like during combat.
Yeah, I get what LJ means.
I get what you mean too. I'm just being
Yeah, and like in that 1v1 scenario, it's like sure I could get 1 kill on you, but she just straight up won.
I'm glad you admitted that is how our 1v1s go.
I didn't
Move
admit
on.
that's how our 1v1s go. I did nothing of the sort.
Yes, and LJ, what about our 1v1s?
I don't know. We aren't having them because your computer decided to
Well,
combust.
here's the difference, boys. In one, your characters die and then come back. This is more like a boxing match, where you get 1 life, you get all your energy, and Mortessa was using her energy and kind of beating down Nia. But then with 1 punch or 1 kick, Nia just completely knocked her out.
Yeah, it's fun. I know
So
a
it-
thing or two about anime power conservation skills.
Mhm.
It's like Luffy versus Bellamy. LJ and AJ will get that.
No,
Bellamy hopped around.
you don't get my support anymore.
Sorry, remind me who that is.
Who?
Spring Man, guy that Luffy 1 punched. Skypea guy. All right, whatever.
Wait,
Oh,
Luffy's in One Punch Man?
You.
Anyhow. But yeah, I mean, to entertain both of you guys, I would prefer 2 punches that Nia took. Like she knocks her down, and then when she tries to fight back, she just like finishes the job instead of like 1 punch and that's it. But
I get why they did it.
it makes sense. But like I said, it was a good moment for Nia, you know, because she's powerful, and that was a really good way to kind of show how powerful she is. So,
Yeah, it was fun.
and then the rest of the season, she was just, you know,
She was there.
I mean, she was the
She was
queen,
there.
and we had like the little moment with Kai, but
nothing massive.
yeah, nothing.
She was able to talk them into like truce, which was, you know, being Nia, whatnot.
All the ninja were used well in that season,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, not exactly anyone got something great. It was
What?
definitely
Cool.
Who?
anyone but him. You know what I meant.
I was gonna say, he was like, no one. When you said no one got anything great, I was like,
Who's Cole?
Yeah, Sensei Wu got over his fluke.
Yep. Where are they going
I
next?
hear the Month's Queen's really ugly.
Where are we going next? Wherever the wind takes us. So specifically the island while you all lounge around back at base.
and skip.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think her character arc of the dragon.
Being a dragon, dude. I was hoping that dragon was gonna like do something cool instead of just being a random domesticated dragon.
Well,
Saved
wow.
the day.
there's a better dragon in the next season, if you think about it.
Um. Cool. All right, island's done. Um. Before we go to Seabound, we got 2 more super chats from Magic. Magic says, I know I'm late on this, but speaking of the ice chapter, but I just want to say that I would have been so down for a Kai versus Zane fight instead of a Lloyd versus Zane. I know Josh was saying that earlier in this chat, and I completely agree. Just because he did, like, he's the one who would like want to fight fire with fire or ice with fire, and then once he realizes he has to do a different tactic,
Yeah,
yeah,
I also
something
feel like
different.
they have more of a connection in
But-
Master of the Mountain, for example, and Rebooted, but yeah.
I agree and don't agree.
That's
I
not
like
my
the
main
idea.
problem with the ice chapter.
Yeah, like if I were to change, if you were to change that, you would have to change the entire structure of the season.
Yeah.
And it would be Kai and Akita, which would be kind
Yeah,
of, you know, weird.
strange.
Like they would probably become like good friends, but
I get the appeal of fire versus ice. I just, it's mainly like it's a thing on a very surface level that would be neat.
mhm.
It's not like there was nothing wrong with Lloyd, going after Zane necessarily.
Also,
Zane, like Lloyd was there for Akita. He
Fire-
didn't really do, he didn't even like save Zane. The what saved Zane was himself.
True.
the fire versus ice thing is a really interesting angle considering Kai doesn't have his powers for like the entire season.
Oh yeah. He gets them back just in time to burn away Zane's
Yeah.
corruption. No, that sounds so edgy.
He gets them back
I
just
mean,
in
he
time
probably
to
would've-
crisp Zane.
He probably gets it back just in time to stop Vex from crisping or from freezing Zane. To
Oh.
break out the ice or something. I don't know.
Guys, I got my powers back and I defeated the Emperor. Hey, why does that pool of like molten metal look kind of like Zane?
Oh, that would
God.
have been a really cool shot where like he's like shooting fire at the Ice Emperor as the ice is like melting around him, and that reveals Zane.
Yeah, and then Kai like turns up the heat.
I never
Here
liked
we
you
go.
anyways. Anywho,
Wow.
The
the other-
cold
the
never
other,
bothered him anyway.
oh my gosh.
Silence.
Oh,
Blasphemy.
let it go. Yeah, show yourself.
Show
Um,
yourself.
All right, and Magic Ninja's other is by the way, after seeing the concept art, I can actually say I was right that a Kitsune wasn't mine for Akita, making the 3-tailed fox design make much more sense.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah. I think the only reason why she's regarded as a wolf is probably because Lloyd doesn't even know what a Kitsune is.
Or we could just, you know what? Who cares what Akita was? What Akita should be is dead.
No!
What?
Yes.
Why?
What Akita should be
Uh-huh.
is Lloyd's Yang.
Nope. No. No.
Kita
Stop
should
it.
be a character.
Akita.
If,
No,
they, if,
Kita
they
should be
never
back.
if they never see each other again, it's gonna make it even more like
Let's-
weird
I
and
don't.
awkward.
I don't like this whole thing where I don't know why. Akita shows a slight appreciation for Lloyd, and now everyone ships the two of them. No, they have no actual.
She kissed his cheek.
It's a little bit more than a
Yeah.
slight
The
appreciation.
last time
Yeah.
that someone kissed Lloyd's cheek,
Uh-huh.
it damaged him for the rest of his life.
Cool. All right. Great. So she's
Yeah.
just bringing back his PTSD. I don't know what more you want.
No,
Oh
she's
my
helping
God.
him fix it. She's helping him fix it.
yeah,
and now
yeah,
he can't even see her anymore.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Exactly. Which is how it should be. Shouldn't see her at all.
He just needs
You just
tomorrow.
don't
he needs-
like her because she turns into an animal.
Yes. Correct. That is the chief issue here.
If that's the only issue, then
Well, no. My actual. I'm sorry. What?
that's your only issue. And sorry to break it to you, Chief, but I don't even know what the ship name is. But that forever, dude. It's
Yeah,
my new
yeah.
OTP.
I don't even know what the ship name is.
The ship name
Yeah,
is.
that must really.
Lukita.
Yeah, pick Zane, move aside. You guys are already perfect. Give me my Lloyd and Nikita.
Okay, so first of all, they have nothing. Like they don't. There's no like
Oh, they're
relationship
cool.
there. They don't exist as a pairing. Like
You
there's
rewatch the Ice chapter. I'm gonna get all those things together. You want me to pull up that moment or that stuff in the musical journey that I edited together? That was kind of like a Lloyd and Akita shipping because I have it around somewhere.
listen, I just finished eating something, and I'd rather not have to re-eat it after I puke.
Ew.
That was a really like long-winded.
Listen. I'm fighting against lunacy here, okay? My my energies are directed somewhere else.
Oh my god.
Listen,
All
bro, I just
right.
think they're cute together.
I
They're
don't
together.
care. They're not.
You know who else is cute together?
Who?
Jay and Nia. Let's go back to Jay and Nia. 'Cause
Yeah.
we need to get
Yeah.
back to
Ca-
Seabound.
Characters with an actual relationship together. What a novel concept.
Do you remember like the last time we like actually talked about Nier and you guys argued that they weren't in love? Was that,
Yep.
that was the thing that happened?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting
I found
angle that you now take.
What?
That they are in love.
Which angle was this?
Oh my god.
Did we say that Lloyd and Akita weren't in love?
Alright, first of all, this is not actually about Lloyd and Akito. Do you remember when like we talked about Seabound? And
Oh.
we were like, oh, Jaya, they're like a thing. And then someone here, I don't remember who it was, but someone was
It was-
like,
It was me.
Yeah, it was Haley, right?
Haley was like, they're not actually in love.
Oh yeah, you had the
No.
crackpot theory that was like
Yeah,
she
I-
doesn't really love Jay, or at least not in the same way. Well, okay, to
Yeah.
be fair to her, there was a lot of rhetoric pre-Seabound because of like cryptic comments that like Tommy had made, or like, oh, there's gonna be angst, and we were like, all right, Jay, are gonna break up, because that was like the only thing that we could think of that would give angst, because no one thought in a million years that Nia would actually like die. Kind of changed the variables a little bit.
We were like Jay and Nia are safe.
I want to go back to that time.
Yeah.
Nah, I like the modern timeline.
Anyway,
Depression and angst for
we
everyone.
pretty much talked about Seabound ad nauseum, and the actual Seabound podcast, which of course is very recent. But to sum up, wow.
Owen Wilson moment.
Wow.
Wow.
Nia's awesome.
True. She is very good.
So we all know whose fault Seabound is. We've already
The tweet has been up
Really
on
the screen.
on
It's on
screen all time.
Has it?
Mhm.
The tweet.
We've gone through Ninjago. We've kind of pointed at all the big Nia moments, but the one thing we needed was Nia angst. AJ was so nice to
Thanks.
actually say that. It was like, we need angst from Nia, and Tommy was like, sure, we got you.
Yeah.
The hero we
Thanks.
needed but didn't deserve.
Thanks, AJ.
Why don't you talk about? I guess since we talked about it last episode, but if you want to like re-say kind of what you said last time, what you think? What do you think about Seabound?
Well, I love Seabound. Like, it's just my favorite season, or like one of them. Got a bias obviously because I love Nia and I always have, but like, the ending especially kind of makes it like.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
It
Or
is
AJ?
Twitter.
AJ, you're not allowed to draw Cole anymore. You're not allowed to do.
Ooh, write his name. Write his name in the book.
No.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Draw
go.
Cole a
I'm
lot
gonna,
anyway. The only Ninjago fan I ever do is like Nia or sometimes Jay, and on the rarest occasions Cole. It's
Uh-oh.
like the cycle.
Bye, Jay.
Oh well.
what do you mean?
The
Oh well.
prophecy was
Listen,
foretold.
as long as you aren't, just don't draw Dareth, okay? And we're fine
Why?
because
You want
we
Draw
don't.
Jareth. Draw Jareth.
No,
Draw
no.
Jareth.
Stop it. Stop. Bad.
And draw
There's this
Ronan.
You can never hurt me because no matter how many times Zane dies, he always comes
Because,
back.
because if Ronan dies, that means he gets more screen time.
Oh my god. You're not wrong. I would take it. I would be down for that.
Monerp says, draw woo.
Please, God. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much in this cold, cruel world of ours.
Yes, you do. Like, all the time.
Listen, life's been good to me this month. I got Metroid Dread. That's all I
Yeah.
want.
We have to take something away from him.
Our rules of the seesaw
I'll just
dictate I
draw-
lose.
I'll write in Metroid
With one
Dread.
hand, we offer you Metroid Dread.
AJ's gonna draw Metroid Dread fan art, and then the game's gonna get
Please.
I'm
canceled.
gonna draw Samus
don't.
and just
And wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
19 years of development.
Please don't do that.
I
That would
am
be
God.
cruel.
What's another 17 years?
All right.
No.
Game is older than- So I got something to tell you.
No, no.
Yes.
That game has been in development longer than I have been alive.
Wait.
That's
What?
really weird. That makes
Also,
me
you're
feel
not in
old.
your mid-20s.
Salty, that is perhaps the most sobering realization of my age. Like, oh my god. That's really bad.
Altis X. Anywho, as you were saying, AJ, before you got interrupted with Death Note.
what was I saying?
Why it's your favorite season?
I'd already. I'm trying to remember what I'd already said and then go back from where. I remember saying, yeah, it was the ending. The ending kind of makes for me. I mean, like, it's the best part of it, but I think it's because like it wasn't expected. Like, stories are always more interesting when you have things like this that are a bit more kind of heartbreaking and, you know, hurts more, and it just leaves a bigger impact. And like, I think it's the first season I come out of like a season of Ninjago and just felt so like
Actually
bad,
emotionally affected.
like depressed. Like I couldn't do anything the entire weekend. I was just like, nope, no.
Mhm.
Oh.
It was downright tragic.
It was. But
I'm
I mean,
still
like,
in that state.
Hmm?
I'm still in that state. Like, when
What,
Ninjago finally comes back, I'm probably like the first 2 minutes and be like, oh, right.
I'm
Hmm.
I fear for the next few seasons. Like, if they're hinting at Naka coming back, then I'm scared she's gonna end up being dragged back, and the ending is gonna lose its impact.
Oh yeah,
It's-
trust me, if that happens,
yeah.
I'll be mini Iran.
I don't know. It just loses its like power when you like just go back on it. You know, it's happened in shows before where like something really awesome has happened, and then they'll be like, "Oh, that's so great. This makes me feel so many emotions, but I can't like watch."
You can't mess with the status quo too much, so they have to
Yeah.
undo it.
Yeah, and then they go back on it, and then it's like, what? Well, now I can't like enjoy this
watch
as
it
much
again.
anymore. Yeah, it won't get any like the same reaction out of me. It'll just get, oh right, yeah, this doesn't matter.
What are you laughing at, Elder?
Sorry. I just.
I guess it's the ulti thing. You're laughing. Ulti posted a meme and you're laughing. Yeah, put it up on the screen.
I can't.
You're not gonna be able to read it though.
Still a firm believer that you're older than me. I legitimately did think you were in your 20s.
You know what this means, right? You need to
Yeah.
change your birth certificate.
True.
You need
That's
to
the
lie
solution
now.
to this.
That's the solution.
Wait, hold on. They have birth certificates in Britain?
Yeah.
I thought they had like a life license, to go next to your TV license.
Oh?
Oh my god. AJ, I remember you were shocked to learn that Ulti wasn't like in his
Yeah.
20s.
I couldn't like process it. I was like, what?
What?
No. That's a lie. No.
I'm really not that old.
Yeah, my quote is on that picture too, so I was surprised.
Holy
He just
smokes.
has a
Younger
very
than me.
mature voice,
Oh.
hiding an immature.
Person.
I almost said boy.
I mean,
Boy. Boy.
your father's Kratos. Boy.
Breath in, boy.
No, stop it, Meso. Stop it with your seizure-inducing gifs.
I love my gifs.
Oh no.
Alright. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
that's basically the culmination. Like, Nia's arc, it channels independence, it channels finding herself, finding her role in the world, making decisions for herself based on the things she loves without being told to by other people, and then choosing, on her own terms how to do things. It's basically like a journey of independence and autonomy.
America's
Even the
story.
messier even the messier things like the love triangle
Kind of
push in that direction, but also not really, because it was a machine that told her what to do. That was like the only misstep.
Samurai
everything
X
else-
hanging hands of time.
Yeah, everything
Fighting for
else
her own image, yeah.
everything else kind of goes along that vibe, even the messier stuff.
Mhm.
And it's nice. Like, no other character can really boast that except Lloyd, and not really. So it's
Yeah.
good. Even though she never got center stage, she's a remarkably consistent character, and she will be missed. But please, God, do not bring her back.
Yeah,
I
it's
will- I
really
will-
impressive. It's really impressive they're able to pull that off.
Mhm.
So, big kudos to them for that.
Especially
Like you said
someone-
about like Lloyd is close. I think Lloyd is like missing like a season or two.
he's
I didn't-
missing the end.
Like, he's
He
missing
didn't,
the
he didn't get the end, and then when they reset it in season 11, he just has nothing. He's a
Yeah.
complete blank slate of a character.
He's the fun but also lawful leader.
Like,
He can actually joke around now.
I've seen some people try to say that Lloyd becoming the leader of the Resistance in Hunted is him completing his arc of becoming, the sensei or the master or whatever.
Yeah, if you
And
put
I
it
say-
together, like March of the Oni too.
I don't
Yeah.
accept that at all, because the circumstances are very, very unique and very special. If March of the Oni had been allowed to be developed,
Yeah.
I think they could have done something. I think if he had actually sacrificed himself, I think that would have done something.
Hmm.
But not really. But this is the Lloyd cast. Overall, Nia was well done.
Yeah.
What are the? There was something else we wanted to talk about. Do you think now's a good time?
Yeah, we'll do it pretty briefly. So we just talked all about Nia, Nia this, Nia that for the entire series. Now the question now is what is the future for Ninjago looking like? So Seabound sets are out in the UK. And Europe.
Yes.
They are not out, as you know, in the United States.
Delayed till August.
Delayed till August, but we know that. That's
I saw
good.
the Hydra
We know
bounty
the
on my
date.
store shelf earlier.
Brag about it.
He is.
The biggest
Yeah.
question is
I saw Jake's Deathmobile as well.
well, we know set dates, but we do not know show dates. And we have it's already aired in a few other countries, but US being the most important one.
Shades.
Is that
Shades.
Haley, I don't
canon?
approve of.
Do you
Probably
think?
not canon.
I don't approve of
Probably not
the way you said that.
Shades. But no, it's because a lot of Ninjago's views comes from like the United States. They
Yeah.
cater a lot of stuff for the United States,
Because it's a large
and
audience.
it's a large audience. We don't know where it is or where it's going to come from. We have heard no news from Cartoon Network. It has not appeared on Netflix, even though the island has started to appear on Netflix in other countries. So that's kind of a big issue.
When's it gonna happen?
When and where?
Logically, I can see the merit in them not wanting to do it until August. You know,
Well, the
just
island.
look up.
But the island isn't even on
The
US,
island
right?
is the weirdest part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Legitimately, it's really
Now,
bizarre.
we didn't do our proper research, so we apologize for this. We do know that Cartoon Network is kind of going through some interesting
Revision.
time in the United States. They're going through like some revisions. They're moving some stuff to streaming services, and they're remodeling kind of how they do their live stuff, which is fine. Good for them for doing some cool stuff.
If anyone has
What about
information on
Ninjago?
that, by the way,
Yeah.
please share because they were mentioning this earlier, and I was like, "Is this real? Is this real life fan fiction?"
Hmm.
Because I hadn't heard a thing about this.
Yeah.
The day I accept Cartoon Network not showing cartoons anymore is the day I accept Teen Titans Go leaving, which is never. So I think Ninjago will still have its audience on Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah.
We just don't know when.
Oh yeah. Oh, but you guys know how it's gonna keep that audience, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Because
Ninjago.
yes,
Oh.
Ninja-Go will be a thing, and it's gonna be really great. It's gonna be based off of the hit animated shorts on Ninjago YouTube channel. Do you guys want some view updates on those?
Yes, it's been like a few weeks. What are the updates?
Okay, well, we're gonna go from least to most. Okay. So lowest view count for the reimagined shorts. Lowest is Golden Legend at 224,398 views.
No.
That has barely changed.
The second lowest is Golden Hour at 335,455 views.
Fair enough.
In the middle is Gold Rush at 455,614 views. Sweatin'
Already feeling the pain.
to the Goldies is second at 572,978.
Hold on. We like sweating to the goldies,
And-
don't we?
And the number one is A Day in the Life of the Golden Ninja at 1,044,000.
Million?
Oh.
1,044,639 views.
Dear God.
Over
Oh.
That's a lot.
just a little over
That's a lot.
Oh.
double of the second highest.
Wow.
Oh.
It's dead, Jim. We're over. I'll pack it in.
Bruh, it beat the musical journey.
Yes, it did. It surprisingly beat Biocraft Chronicles too, so I don't know how that happened, but it did.
Oh my God.
It didn't beat Game of Moment Origins, which was...
What?
Yeah.
That is painful to hear.
So yeah.
You know, like I was looking at those metrics.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it came out May 7th, so it hit over 1 million in just a little over a month.
Oh my gosh. And the best one is like just over
Yeah.
200,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really
Is it
depressing.
maybe because like that one is on YouTube Kids?
They
or
all are.
anything like that. They all are. Okay.
All of them are YouTube Kids. You can't put comments on any of them.
Yikes.
How many dislikes does that one have?
Oh,
Day of Life.
Legacy. Oh, I didn't even look at the dislikes. So,
That's
For-
a good metric.
well, here's the deal. Here's the thing about likes and dislikes. You're always going to get more the more viewers you have. So
Yeah.
Day in the Life of Golden Ninja has 7.8 thousand likes and 1.1 thousand dislikes. So, interestingly enough, that is actually the lowest like count on any of them, and it is the highest dislike count.
It's the worst ratio.
Yeah.
Like looking through them.
Yep. So Gold Rush and Sweat into the Goldies are tied at 14,000 likes. Golden Hour has 13,000 likes, and Legacy has 11,000.
Boy.
But again, at the same time, like, it's interesting. There is that great disparity, but Day in the Life of the Golden Ninja also has over 1 million views.
Yeah.
That is like several TTV channels combined worth of views. To put it in perspective, our most viewed video is the rarest Lego minifigures. It's a little over 4 million views. That took about 5 years to accumulate to that point. Day in the Life of the Golden Ninja did that in a little over a month.
Yeah, it's gonna get a lot of views.
Yeah.
Boy.
So, yeah, have fun, guys.
It's dead, Jim.
It is dead.
Pack it in, friendos.
That's
Gotta
so
accept
depressing
our
to hear.
new fate.
So, in
As much
regards,
as I would love to say, oh, Lego won't make sweeping changes because of that. They'll respect, the fans.
see, it's
I don't really have much faith that they would do that.
Yeah, I mean that's when you're just looking like the fans don't want it, and then Lego's just like, but look
But
at the
people do.
views.
Look at all the new fans that might want it.
yeah. So,
I like money.
Yeah.
this is awful timing. It's all really bad timing.
LJY.
So, not only is this happening, but there's been some discourse in the Ninjago community about the advertising of Seabound sets.
Yeah, that was gonna be our final
Oh, I
thing
thought
to know.
I thought we were in that.
Yeah, well, that's our final thing. for
Okay,
the-
yep,
the
yep.
episode.
Take it away then.
Oh.
You direct it.
Yeah, well, I'll let you give the juicy information, but for those who are not aware, we are past what the embargo date would be for Seabound sets to be reviewed on channels and people who part of the Lego Ambassador Network, which we are as GTV. We were never offered the Seabound sets. Nobody was offered the Seabound sets for review. And that was kind of a
But
but
why?
why? Yeah, but why? Because we've been offered Ninjago waves twice previously, including we were
3
offered
times.
the
Yeah, I was about to say this is the last.
They got the whole movie wave.
from the movie wave. We were offered the legacy wave for 2020.
Well, it was the winter wave for 2021.
Yeah, the winter wave for 2021, and then the
The
island set. So you're offered those, and then of course the purchase of Perseus,
Yes.
the brickheads. But we were heard nothing for Seabound, which was a big eyebrow raise. We're like, well, this is a full set wave. Why weren't we offered it?
Yes.
So, LJ can take it from here.
Yeah. Now, so there had been some discourse in the community. Other incompetent figureheads were claiming that it was a decision by Lego not to provide anything for Seabound and to not advertise it quite as much because Lego didn't want to because Nia was on the box. So I took it upon myself as a responsible ambassador to do my own investigation and reach out to Lego because we have that ability. So do others. Why they opted not to, the world may never know. So I reached out to Lego and I asked them if that was true. And Lego, they've given me permission to give this statement. And this is totally fine. So I'll give you the statement and I'll give you the reason we weren't offered anything. So the statement, Lego Ninjago, and this is from Lego proper. This is their official statement. Lego Ninjago focuses on all of our characters being a part of a team, as there isn't just one lead character. Since the beginning of Lego Ninjago, each season offers the opportunity to highlight one of the characters on their own, which helps children learn more about each ninja. For 2021, our focus for the Seabound season is Nia and her elemental powers. Starting June 1st, August 1st for the United States, we will be launching a full range of Seabound products, which features Nia as the lead character on packaging and across our communication materials. We are very excited to dedicate a full season to Nia so our fans can get to know her more, and we are looking forward to the launch. All in all, we love Nia, and I don't think we'll be promoting this series any less than past ones. Hope that helps. So the reason... also, no, I'm going to be smug about it, because the people that were peddling the nonsense that Lego intentionally isn't advertising Nia's season should have done their job. They should have actually done what they were supposed to do instead of trying to put themselves on a pedestal and then not do what they're on the pedestal to do. The other thing that we were told was that the reason no one was offered any Seabound sets was straight up just because of an error. It was a mistake in their systems. The LAN did reach out to the Ninjago team to get review copies, but by the time they had, it was unfortunately too late. So,
which, in my opinion, this is purely my opinion, not anything we've been told, might have something to do with the disparity in release dates between regions.
Yeah.
That's just conjecture in my mind. We've never really had a multi-month gap like this before. If something were to get messed up in the system as a result of it being too late, it would make sense because it was, they came out in June in certain regions.
Yeah, it's a like I said, they said it was a computer error. Like, it just didn't register for Ninjago, but it registered for other things, like Monkey Kid. Of course, it's a shame. I remember when I heard the news, the first thing I thought of was, well, this is kind of the worst time to do that, but oh well.
Yeah, it's bad timing. So there was that whole discourse when Nia was modified from the status quo about whether or not Lego was intentionally downplaying her as a character to get her off the show, and that stuff like this was evidence of that. It's not. It just isn't.
Hence the bad timing.
Factually, it doesn't line up, but I do agree that it paints a very bad look.
It's the worst timing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I do appreciate Lego being so forthcoming with their answer. Like, the statement was a statement to clarify for anyone that had misgivings about how Lego was handling Nia and her having a modified position in the status quo. That's what that was. And the reason was, we were just told that was the reason that no one was being offered Seabound sets. So, and I appreciate the forthcomingness of things. Thankfully, the LAN has been very good for dialogue and getting answers.
True.
When people ask.
It just sucks. Generally, it's not good.
Hopefully reviews will be had, because I do want to get my hand on a few of them. So.
But
Fair enough.
That's kind of it.
So to recap, Ninjago show off the air for a while, no new content. Don't know when the island is going to air in the U.S., let alone Seabound. Set's delayed 2 months in the U.S. No review copies for LEGO Communities, and Day in the Life of a Golden Ninja has over 1 million views. So, enjoy the apocalypse, everyone.
It's weird because it was like, for a good solid month, it was like, man, it feels amazing to be a Ninjago fan.
Yeah.
And now we're like, man, it really hurts to be a Ninjago fan right now.
It was good to be a Ninjago fan.
Like, you can see things starting to crumble, but yet you know what the core is still there, and you're like, we gotta protect the core, but everything else is crumbling.
The core is what makes us, as the legend says.
Heroes to the core.
Real. Oh my gosh. I want to clear something up here. Orakume said, I'm fine with clearing up false info, but companies always have ulterior motives outside of what's handed to you. It's capitalism at its core. For starters, I don't know what you want me to say. There was a misconception. It was being peddled. I went to the company to get it cleared up. Misconception over. That's it. That's straight up it.
Ultimately, if you don't want to trust what Lego says, that is ultimately your individual jurisdiction. But at the same time, for the sake of discussion, we kind of have to like take it at face value,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's like they could have just given
Until I
me
see a reason.
they could have straight up just given us that press release answer, which I know isn't really it's like a press release. They could have just given me that. But they told us there was just a sincere error in the process. There was a mistake and they missed the window to get us review copies. They didn't need to tell us that. They didn't need to admit fault to that. So I appreciate that level of transparency and them being so forthcoming with us. And I did. I cleared it with them. I asked, hey, can we disseminate this publicly? They said, yes, it's totally fine. Like, if you don't want to buy Lego, don't buy Lego. I don't care. I'm just telling you, there was a misconception, and we got it cleared up.
True.
So, there's nothing more to it.
Natalie Water. Thanks, Volty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. It's weird. It's very weird. And we'll have to see what shakes loose.
Yeah.
Indeed.
AJ, what do you think about the future of Ninjago? Are you nervous? Are you looking forward? Do you want it to burn? What's up?
Are you nervous?
Don't know any. Don't.
So,
Please.
just
I
read
will
it.
break down. Please. I don't know. Like, I don't. If you'd asked me like back when season 11 was around, I remember saying I would be okay with Ninjago kind of just
Coming to a
ending some
close.
point soon. Yeah, but like now Seabound's happened and like I don't know what's coming and I don't know.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think we can all agree, like, if it was gonna go out, we'd like for it to go out on a high note, not like
Yeah.
fizzle out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather for that, but
I don't
You
know.
back then I was sure that it would just kind of eventually just end up.
Just die. Yeah.
Yeah. But don't know.
Now we're presented with the scenario of it being as good as it's ever been, and
Yeah.
then being turned into a weird offshoot of itself.
You know,
Yeah.
Sounds like a
I
nightmare.
wouldn't be mad. But I wouldn't be mad. If what we're going to see next year is the best Ninjago has ever been, and then that's it, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, you'd be
Because-
sad.
I'd be sad, of course, but all good things must come to an end. And I rather that it ends on Ninjago's terms than it had like maybe like the Bionicle effect or the Nexo Knight effect.
But
Okay,
that's where the
hold up.
controversy comes in, right?
That's where the
Hold up.
controversy-
Listen.
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna-
did say the Bionicle effect.
Yeah, and I don't know what that
There's multiple
means.
Bionicle.
Okay, there's
There's
That means
that's
that it
not-
gets
multiple
canceled.
Bionicle effects. One of them it could happen. The
Yeah.
G2 effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the G2 effect.
Okay,
The
I'm
Bionicle
just
effect being that they cancel Bionicle and then they scrunch together a quick ending,
okay, but
even
that's
though it's not. Yeah. So what
I get what
they're,
she means by that.
I rather they not rush an ending. I rather than they say this is now a nice, well written kind of like, huzzah, and then Lego can take it and do whatever the heck they want with it.
I get your raised eyebrow, Elge, but we don't want the Bionicle stars for Ninjago.
yeah, we're getting them this year.
Like I want the whole, the level of Motonui versus Makuta. Like that stakes is awesome, but they could have built to that more if they had more time.
All right,
Yep.
well, Okay,
But with
fair enough.
Ninjago, it's a slow build. Like Seabound, Island, the old ever since like season 11, we've been getting a slow build. We start off kind of kiddie and it gets a little dark, adding it. And then we come to this big kind of like it pushes it over. Nia has now sacrificed herself. We have an entire year of question mark. We know that, you know, things might be changing based off of what Lego's probably looking at right now. Oh wow, 1 million views on this?
Yep.
But if there's a good time, like a perfect area for Ninjago to kind of wrap up, I'd rather it just like have its own definitive ending rather than just keep pushing on, hoping for another year, hoping for another season, and then eventually not getting one. And then we're just like, so now what? We're just done?
I generally agree, but I think that like I'm gonna be irritated no matter what. Like I respect the value of a good ending. ... If it's actually an ending.
If it's ending, yeah.
To me, if it ends but then continues in a kiddified, cartoonized, rebooted form, in a way that kind of devalues the ending. For the story that we know, I agree with you completely. It needs to come to a close.
And then, I mean, even then, like if it does continue in a kidified version, then I'll just call it G2.
Oh,
Ouch.
ow. Oh.
Pain.
Yeah.
Also, see, isn't it so great that you have this knowledge about Bionicle so that you can make comparisons to the past and help it inform your
Absolutely.
feedback for the future?
My character growth is as good as Nia.
So does that mean by the end of it, you're going to become a glass of water?
Oh my god.
I'm a tall glass of water.
Haley, just for future reference, do you prefer chewy or crumbly cookies?
This is good to establish. Very important.
I refuse crunchy cookies.
Good.
I only eat chewy cookies.
That is the only way. That is the only way.
I still find it funny that poor Jay had to get "that's the way the cookie crumbles" said to him twice, and in both is referencing to something bad happening to Nia. Like that just sucks, man. That just
You'll probably never eat cookies again.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I think you know, when I had the idea for this podcast, I was like, it'll probably last like an hour, hour and a half.
it's because we ended up talking about other stuff in between. You're welcome. Drawing things out. Talking about other things.
British and Southern.
I've
Old
gone
age.
Ronan.
God.
And...
Yeah, I've gone through the
Ronan.
5 stages of grief.
Anywho, but yeah, I guess we have more ideas for future podcasts if we ever want to completely destroy Hands of Time or rebooted.
I think
Well-
that would be fun. I think we should definitely do seasonal episodes.
Breakdown.
I don't know about Destroy Hands of Time, but come September, Destroy Sakota.
Oh my god.
This
You're
is
really setting yourself up for a lot of failure, Ulti.
I guess that is a question I should ask you guys. Would you rather do the elemental discussion before or after the book comes out?
after.
After we've already had it sprinkled in.
But then we won't have the discussion on what Lloyd is unless we have a Lloyd like we have
The
this.
thing is,
We've
we
pretty
don't
much
know
already
if-
had it.
I still have my doubts that the book will even solve it, but
Wouldn't that be
That's-
funny?
That,
If
that's
at
the
the
worst
end of
possible
all of it-
outcome.
They don't even answer it.
Probably won't. They're gonna be non-committal. It's gonna be like, no, little is known about Lloyd's elemental
Yeah, but
power.
literally all they have to say is, if is Lloyd them, like, all it has to be is a page, and it's like, this is energy, it's an element. And Sakota gets, like,
Lloyd.
figuratively,
yeah, but they
figuratively
hopefully
smashed through
won't do
5
that
walls.
because, like, didn't Tommy say he wouldn't call it an element?
They call him the Master of Energy in, like, an episode or something.
No, they never did.
Oh my god, again. We shall
Doesn't he
see.
summon the metaphysical energy dragon in an episode?
He summons a dragon.
I love this rivalry so much. It's just it gives me life.
He's very fun.
E.T., he was called the Master of Power in the tournament.
Yeah, and Tommy said on Twitter that Chen said that and he wouldn't trust Chem because he's a criminal.
All right. Maybe we should have this discussion again.
Alright.
Mostly because it's funny.
Maybe we should.
See, I just compared all of a sudden Dakota and Ulti's discussion about this to a chess game. They have all the different pieces, and they play their pieces to see who can checkmate the others with their aha.
Because of Ulti, I have an album with screenshots.
Don't pin this on me. That album existed long before we had.
No,
this
I didn't have an album before.
My goodness. Anywho, well, that's going to be it for today. Once again, give a nice warm welcome to our newest member, AJ.
Yay!
We shall see if they pop up in other podcasts.
Other
Wink, wink.
podcasts.
You guys do other podcasts?
News to me.
I wink pretty harshly in LJ's direction.
Excuse you, why my direction?
You're just as guilty as me at this point. We're in this together.
It's like Monkey Kid has an entire season out, another special, an entire other season out.
I was thinking Brickfeed, but fair enough.
I guess Brickfeed works too, but come on, y'all.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Where's my monkey?
It's a whole thing.
Where's the monkey at?
in that
The whole
show.
monkey.
This is
But
fun though. This is a good thing.
it was a good time. We got a nice fat cast now, which it's really nice to have.
I think you mean
I don't-
wide cast.
Oh,
I don't know
shut
if
up.
it's the TV widecast.
The PPU
I
podcast.
don't know if he's interested or not, but Zach's also completely caught up to date. So.
Oh my gosh.
More.
I'm gonna need
More Kylo Ren. More. Yeah.
When I started hosting this, and it was me, LJ, and Tyler. It's like, this isn't good, but we could have more people in here. And now it's like Ninjago is so popular, and everyone is hopping in. You know, Envy's almost caught up, and Zach is catching or is caught up, and I'm like, can this be like a giant cast? Like, it's so
Right.
many people. I'm so happy.
Haley, if you want to try and cast other people, I mean, listen, I'm not above sorry, I rephrase. I'm not above
You're not
poaching.
Cole?
I mean, I am.
You're not above Cole. Yeah, no, you
I am
definitely
above
are.
Cole. I stand very far over him because he's a minifigure that I can step on.
Yeah, but that'll hurt.
No,
Yeah,
him or me.
Bruh.
he's also like super strong, so he'll probably just throw you across the room.
Excuse you, I am also now super strong, so I can literally flick Cole across, like, I don't know, the continent. Shoom. But,
It sounded like he when you went like, poof, like you made a little sound. It was like he went into like a cardboard tube, and then you just spat him out.
yeah, it's just go boom.
Foam.
But anyway, listen, I'm just saying, I'm not above
There we go.
poaching other podcasts. You should consider that. I'm just saying.
Bruh.
Like gamer moment.
Where? Who? What?
What?
What's a
Who?
gamer moment? Is that like?
Wide.
Shut
What?
the. Stop.
That isn't a gamer moment
Stop.
thing.
Yeah, I know it's worse than gamer moment.
Anyway,
Stop
thanks
with
for joining
the.
us today.
Stop
Push the
chewing.
button. We're too wide.
Stop it.
Wide.
Cole's
Thank
greatest
you for
quote.
joining.
You people need help.
No, I gotta agree with that. We're too wide.
No.
The most convenient set feature ever. The most convenient situation.
You know what? I'm destroying the set.
Bruh.
In fact, you know what?
At least film it.
I'm destroying Zane's mech.
You wouldn't. You
I-
love it too much.
Okay, listen, Ulti.
You're bluffing.
Ulti immediately like going for the.
Try me,
for
Ulti.
this-
Try me.
You're bluffing, I can tell.
You don't think I'll do it? You don't think I'll do it?
I think LJ loves Murica more than Zane's mech.
I'll do
Oh
it.
no, LJ, who really wins here if you do it? If you don't break it, I win. If you break it, I win. In chess, we refer to this as a checkmate.
How would you know about that?
Yes! Yes!
The bands.
Oh, Sakota was so... Oh.
The bands are too real. All right.
This is the greatest podcast.
This
The greatest group.
is the
Oh my
Yeah.
show.
We need
Wait,
a
wait.
regular TTV podcast with everyone here. Like
That would
might
be
as
fun.
well.
What's a
May as well.
TTV podcast?
I know. Before we go, one last super chat from Magic. We're not going to bring this discussion up. I'm just going to read it, and then we're going to nod our heads. All right, Ulti and Sakota, we're going to nod our heads
I
and
won't.
say, "Interesting point." Okay. To be fair, as of now, energy sounds better than just power or green ninja power, which was what it was known as before season 4. All right, nod our heads.
Interesting.
Now, actually, I mean, maybe Tommy has said on Twitter that...
I mean, I got there like this screenshot and
I think it's the power of life.
And
I
you.
went on the internet and I
We're
Sorry.
found
going-
this.
we are going to end the podcast now.
All right, I'm playing the music.
Are you? I don't hear it.
What was that, Clancy right there? I'm gonna put
Clancy.
eternity. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of NINJAGOcast, where we talk about Nia and the state of Ninjago. But we hope you join us next time. Until then, I have been Sensei Wolf.
I'm LJ.
I've been Meso.
I'm Sakota.
Model T.
I'm AJ.
And we'll be back next time for whatever we decide to argue about next. Right? Power?
Yeah.
Green energy?
You wanted us to stop talking about it. Though, for future reference, green is the best color.
That also not canon.